Never a boring day in the Karen Read retrial. We are on day 18. We need to roast it, react to it, you guys. Judge Joleen, the dishonorable Judge Joleen. Hear ye, reporting for duty. So smash that like, grab a beverage. Hopefully you're wearing something comfy, and let's get started.
Jen! 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 Because I had like bread and maybe peanut butter in my car.
Why did you have bread and peanut butter in your car?
I had my niece for the week, and I was dragging her like to all my kids' sporting events. So we'd go from like one game to another game to a practice. So sometimes instead of always giving her McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts, I'd try to throw her a peanut butter sandwich.
And they were making fun of you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what the hell?
Sometimes instead of always giving her McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts.
Sometimes before giving them McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Stand-up comedian and dishonorable Judge Joleen reporting and reporting for duty. And there goes my standing desk. It's like, hey, girl, you should be standing. We are going to be talking today about Karen Read retrial, day 18. We're going to do what we do over here. We bring some levity to the law. We're not a lawyer. We're just a comedian. We make jokes. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're bad. I try my shitty Boston accent. We have some fun. Now, remember, I'm a very opinionated lady, but that doesn't mean you have to have the same opinion as me. You are welcome to sound off in the live chat or the comment section, and we can just respectfully agree to disagree.
Oh, she thinks I'm too critical. That's another fault of hers.
Yes, that's another fault of anyone who thinks that any of us are too critical. Smash that like on your way in. It's a great way to support the channel. It lets the YouTube algorithm know that we're doing stuff, that we're here. It invites some friends over. All right?
So the police officer's psychotic?
Possibly. Also, go Timberwolves tomorrow. Just a quick little plug if you can, if you're not an OKC fan. Shout out to you guys. Say go to the Wolves, okay? Because Minnesota, we need this. We need this. All right, you guys. How is everyone doing today? If you want to support the channel further, you know the drill. You can join the membership. If my mods don't mind dropping a link to the membership here on YouTube, you get exclusive emojis, bonus content, also my Patreon, if you prefer Patreon, or you can send a super chat while we're live. Thank you, Dale. Your accent is not shitty. It's getting better. I'm trying. It's not at the bar. We got to say bar. Lots of things going on. Silly Goose. Hello. Thank you so much for the first super chat of the live. Thanks for doing 2 today. I'm going to try to get better about possibly being able to do 2 a day. 1 for the Karen Read. Okay. 1 sidebar for the Karen Read later in the day. And then a no offense, all offense pop culture roast earlier in the day for my people that are watching both or aren't really into Karen Read. We have something earlier in the day. All right. Thank you, Jamie B, for dropping that. You guys. So today I was, perusing before I went live to talk about pop culture. If you missed my no offense, all offense, it was earlier today. We talked about a myriad of things, but not Karen Read, if you're into that. So I was, booping around. I saw Melanie Little wasn't going live. So I was like, okay. I kind of go back and forth between Melanie Little or Emily D. Baker. Those are like my lady faves. And, a lot of DNA experts today. I thought, not my fave. Kind of science, not always my fave. Important nonetheless, but it jumbles my head a little bit. Then we got to a forensics gentleman. Okay. So defense attorney Robert Alessi, our little guy, Alessi, little cutie patootie who clearly is like a runner or something, who Auntie Bev is kind of like, wrap it up, Alessi. He questioned a witness, Shannon Burgess from Aperture, during the retrial today, toward the end, I believe, of the day. And that's what we're going to be going over and reacting to. I haven't watched all of it. I watched just enough to make me dangerous. But we got to roast this shit up because this is crazy. So they found errors in his resume or lies. You could call them errors or you could call them lies. So let's get right into it. Shout out to the trial channel. I saw that they recently reached 30,000 subscribers, and they deserve every bit and more. So I hope they hit 40, 50,000 subscribers. Hell, I hope we hit 50,000 subscribers. But the trial channel is amazing. Their work, they put, they'll like separate the different testimonies, and they get rid of the sidebars, and it really is wonderful. Okay, so they already had one up they have a direct. Oh, I wonder if they have we'll listen to a little bit of this guy's direct. We're going to skip around, skippity-doo-dah, skippity-a. My, oh my, what a lying day. What is it with this trial that everyone the prosecution calls is just a lying liar pants that lies? Like, where even your experts who arguably shouldn't, right, have a reason to lie are just Fibonacci, just fibbing all over town. It's crazy. So let me check with them real quick and see. There's a link for them in the description of this video. Let me drop a link for them, for their channel. Go sub up to them. They're amazing. And they don't even strike you when I play their wonderful video. And I appreciate that so much that we're able to provide commentary. They don't hoard the material. Okay. And they get rid of the sidebars because we don't need all the sidebars. All right. So they have the direct, but we got to get to the cross too. So we might have to go into court TV for that. So they had 3 people on the stand today, I think. Nicholas Bradford, kind of boring, bring a book, DNA analysis. And they were like, oh, okay. Could be this person's hair. Could be that, but like, whatevs. Then Carl, they had a little guy named Carl with a K, and he was a DNA analyst. Yeah, they talk about mitochondrial DNA analysis, the hair. They want to know about the hair. Whose hair was it? Was it John's hair? Proctor's hair? Karen's hair? Everybody's hair? Was it a hair party? They're kind of figuring it out. And then this gentleman. It is always the gentleman with the interesting hairlines, I will say, who end up caught in tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies of this case. Okay, so this guy, Shannon Burgess, Shannon. Boy, oh boy. Shannon's called to the stand. He works for Aperture. So give me a thumbs up in the chat as soon as you hear the audio. I'm going to pop in one of my AirPods because I gotta hear this. So we'll skippity-doo-dah, bebop through. Let me see. Why can't I hear myself? Oh, it's because it's my phone. Knock it off, phone. Knock it off. I'm not playing with you. All right. Get your peanut butter. Get your peanut butter sandwiches, you Dunkin' All right, smash that like. Let's see if we can hit 100 likes. Mods, if you don't mind letting me know. Reminding people to smash the like. And making sure my mic, sometimes when I put my AirPod in, my mic is like, it goes to my AirPod and then it's shittier. It did that in my earlier live. I'm so sorry to those of you. Okay, yeah, it did that. Knock it out here with my AirPod. I don't want to talk through it. See how different, how much better. If anyone notices during the stream that my audio is getting shittier, like AirPod quality, let me know so I can switch it back. Because StreamYard's hating. They're hating. Thank you, artists. So good to see you. Okay. Let's just skip around. Shannon Burgess, Aperture, the man who started his testimony like, okay, cool. And then it went all downhill.
Whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jurors? Spell your last name for the court reporter.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Shannon Burgess. Last name Burgess.
Mr. Burgess, what do you do for a profession?
Sure. So I'm a digital forensics examiner. So I investigate digital devices to see what evidence they may record or hold.
Do you specialize in any type of forensic analysis?
Sure. So digital forensics is kind of a broad field, but I do specialize in vehicle forensics and cell phone forensics.
Off the bat, I was like, I like this guy's accent. I love a Southern accent. Okay, he's like, vehicle. I specialize in vehicle. I don't know what part. I don't know if he's from Alabama, Arkansas. I've been partial to the Arkansas accent lately because I watched some crime documentary, like Southern Fried something with some lady. We'll talk about it on a different time. But I liked his accent, so I was like, okay, I trust you. I trust you a little bit. I like ya.
How long have you been a digital forensic analyst for?
Sure. So I've been a digital forensic analyst for approximately 10 years.
Before you were a digital forensic analyst, what type of work did you do?
Sure. So
I worked at Circuit City. No,
before I was a digital forensics analyst, I was working in the automotive manufacturing field, specifically related to automotive presses and industrial robotics.
I want to talk to you about some of your experience in digital forensic. Did you receive any certifications in
thank you,
digital
William,
forensics?
not Alabama.
I did. I've received several certifications, one being what's called GIAC, Advanced Smartphone Forensics, another from Celebrite, a company named Celebrite, in Certified Mobile Examiner, and then certifications from Magnet Forensics as well.
Is Magnet a company that also includes Axiom?
Yes, Magnet is a company that produces the software known as Axiom.
In addition to your certifications, how many hours?
Which is also a cult, a Hollywood. Is when that Axiom, the cult, where they like branded those women with the lady from Smallville. Okay, so we get a little picture of like, okay, we got this gentleman, and he works at car pots, and he's doing other things, and now he's certified.
A little bit.
We can take that down if you'd like.
So, sorry, can you repeat the question?
When you had your initial theory of data missing, what was it based on?
He's got a
Sure.
Circuit
So
City
the initial theory was based on two things. Either one of two things initially I thought could have happened, and that was a bad or partial read of the chips, or it could be that the data-bearing chip that we are looking for was overlooked and not downloaded.
When your first thoughts were that this was a partial read of chips, was there anything about the chips when you looked at them that you concluded or came to an opinion on?
Sure. So initially, when I was reviewing the data and reviewing the part numbers on the chips, we can see what, how much storage is on each chip. And that can kind of get complicated, but essentially what we're looking at data stored as either bits or bytes. That is represented as a capital B or a small lowercase b. So initially, upon reviewing the data and with the assumption that a competent examiner would not miss a chip or a device or data bearing chip on the board, I misinterpreted and wrote a lowercase or a capital B when I should have wrote a lowercase b in my notes, which led me to believe that there was a partial download of those initial chips.
So the bits and bytes, he messed up, and we'll hear from Alessi later about how I got them bits and bytes. I put a lowercase, should have put a capital. NBD, just a lady up for schmurder, just a lady who might lose her life, who's being accused of a crime that looks like a setup. But NBD, just screwed up a little bit.
Now, as a forensic analyst, do you rest on your initial impressions, or do you go through a continued process?
No, so I do not. So just like the scientific method, if you have a working theory, you then review and research to either prove or disprove that theory.
And did you engage in that scientific process in working theory?
I did.
And how soon after you wrote the report did you realize there may be another source of the material?
Sure. So, I will clarify a little bit. That initial was not a report; it was just a protocol that was proposed. But I believe that there was a supplemental protocol written within a week or two of the initial protocol.
And when you used the scientific method and studied the theory that you had, what did you decide or what did you learn?
Sure. So upon further review and research,
he has this little thing he does where he goes, sure. Upon further research, I realized that I did not know what the fuck I was talking about. But before then, I felt like I knew what the fuck I was talking about. And then I soon realized, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Shannon. And my wife came in and my wife was like, you do not know what the fuck you're talking about, Shannon. Because my wife will tell me straight up. But I have an ego. So I was like, I might still know what the fuck I'm talking about. What are you talking about? We don't know. Sure. But he says sure a lot.
I discovered that there was a SD card or a micro SD card that was on the circuit boards of one of the modules that was never looked at.
Now, you weren't present at the original process?
So there was something that was never looked at. And he's just finding that shit.
That is correct.
When you looked at the modules, those computer boards, did you notice anything about them that happened during the original process?
Sure. So I did notice during the chip off process.
Chip off the old block. That's what we said. Okay. My wife says that's a bad joke. She said, don't lead with jokes. It's the schmurder trial. Okay. Let me go back there. Chip off.
What you do to take these chips off is you apply heat to them. So that essentially liquefies the solder, which is a low temperature metal that connects the chips to the board and makes those connections so the board can communicate. And there was some damage caused from that initial chip off.
And again, why would you take the chips off a board if they're already attached? Why would you need to do that?
Sure. So when you don't have, typically if you think about downloading data from your cell phone, you have a USB port on your cell phone that you can easily plug that into a computer. That's not the case with vehicle modules. So you have to remove these
So
chips
he's talking about Karen Read's vehicle, her Lexus Nexus. Okay.
from the board, and then you've got programmers or readers that will read the data from these chips.
Did you have a chance to study the boards that were already accessed during an earlier chip off process before you got involved?
Yes, I did have an opportunity to study some photographs of the boards.
Could we have page 14, please, Ms. Gilman? Okay, if we could turn to
We had a
page
chance
15.
to take a look at this, you guys.
Tell us what this is, please.
Chips.
Sure. So this is the infotainment module that you saw earlier. This is just two photographs during the disassembly process of taking that module apart.
Could you zoom in on the right photograph, Ms. Gilman? Okay, if that's the best we can do, that's fine right there. Could you share with us a little bit about what this is?
Sure. So this is how I received the modules when we took a secondary look at them. Essentially, this is if you see from the right photographs, there's many boards that are contained within this infotainment module. This specific board that we're looking at here on the right is the board where they removed chips from. What we're looking at is the circuit board itself, as well as two components.
But we wanted to know what kind of chips, kettle chips, tortilla chips. We wanted to know that kind of stuff, because there's lots of potato chips, dill pickle chips, which I like. But you can get now at Costco, they got the big bag, and it's the dill chips, but it's also a kettle chip, so it's extra crunchy. Sometimes I just like a Lay's dill pickle chip. I know it's an acquired taste, but I want to know what kind of chips. Mission chips
that were previously removed during that initial download attempt.
So if you can't read the chips on the board, if you remove them, is there a tool that you can use to actually read the individual chips in isolation?
Yes. So there is tools, various tools that you can use to read those chips and read the data from those chips.
If we could have 16, please. Can you tell us what you see here?
Sure. So what you see here is two of the components that were initially removed from the board during that first download attempt. I've documented an additional chip that was still on the board that was not identified during that initial download on this side of the circuit board. And then I've got photographs matching the chip and where its placement was initially on the circuit board.
Can we have page 17, please? And what do we see there?
Sure. So this is some of the damage that occurred to the circuit board itself during the initial chip off downloaded.
chip off.
Do you have a pointer on the stand?
I do. Yes.
Could you show us what the left photograph point out what you mean by damage?
Sure. So right here on the left part, you've got these two highlighted blocks. So what this is if you remember back to the last slide, the larger chip that we were looking at, this is directly underneath that. So when you're removing that larger chip, what you're doing is you're applying heat to it. If you apply too much heat during that chip off process, the underside of the board will actually heat up, and you'll have chips fall off of the underside of the board.
Well, I don't like
so
when
that's
chips
what's
fall
occurred
off.
here on the left side. On the right side, again, as you heat up these chips, if you're not careful, as you pick them up off the board, you can displace other components, and that is what you see right here in this highlighted box.
So nobody wants overheated chips. Let's just fast forward a little bit. There's a lot of chip talk. Okay, unless you like the television show Chips, then you're old as fuck like me.
Looking at the file system, similar to rebuild.
So he had hex data, chips, overcooked chips, regular chips, tortilla chips,
us what you
nacho
found.
chip.
Sure. So this is a micro SD card that I identified on the subject vehicle and later validated that existed on an exemplar vehicle as well.
Could you use the pointer? Sure. I know there's a red square, but I want you to describe for us what you saw and what that meant to you.
Sure. So if you look at this side of the circuit board, obviously this is a zoomed in view. But what you see is this kind of underneath the SD card is a silver casing. That is the slot that the SD card would go
Oh,
into.
I can't believe he slut shamed that chip. You don't know about that. You don't know about her life, his life. He slut shamed that chip, that SD card. He said he got STDs, that SD
Why
card.
couldn't you?
Sure. So there are commercial forensic tools that are available for vehicle systems.
Vehicle.
One of those tools
I love when you add extra like vehicle
is referred to or is called Burla. Burla is a company that writes hardware and software or develops hardware and software that pulls data from vehicles in a user-friendly way so that
Okay, sure. We're going to fast forward you just a little bit, sir, but I do love your accent.
advanced studies on it.
Sure.
That the
Sure.
multiple reasons. First, to validate that the process that we're theorizing to recover data is viable, but also this is a vehicle that there's no documentation on as far as the data that is stored and the data how it's recorded and what it means. So as well as being able to validate that process, we also wanted to do testing and create some of our own data and known data sets on a vehicle, so that when we got the data, we were able to look at it and compare it to our.
So he's just a lot of vehicle, a lot of data, look at me. He's got Karen's car here, or I don't know if it is, but he was comparing it to one that was like, they test out one that's not the exact same for something. Who cares? It's getting more
With those
interesting.
cameras, turning on the vehicle, turning off the vehicle. Comparison, we're
So
looking
clearly he is very, you know, he is a professional because they turned on the vehicle, turned off the vehicle, look for chips.
at
There's lots of numbers here. Exemplar vehicle, subject vehicle. So exemplar vehicle, it's like the one they practice on, testing 1, 2. And the subject vehicle, that would be Karen Read's vehicle. Okay.
I pointed out earlier, what we see when we go back and review this camera footage is we see when I press the ignition on button.
He's trying to dispute the timing of it. You know, sometimes I have to set my own timer. Sometimes one of my clocks, if the power goes out and I gotta, you know, go outside and do that thingy, unless your thingy's inside. You know, I'm talking about power box. What you talking about? You're talking about, anyways. Then my clocks, I gotta reset them. So what I'll do is I'll look at my iPhone and then I'll set it like 2 minutes ahead because I'm always running behind with ADHD and stuff.
There's actually a logo that appears on the infotainment screen as it's booting up. That time that logo appears on the screen, but
There's a time.
is approximately 3 seconds before that timestamp.
So do I understand if you press the button to start the vehicle, there's a 3-second delay before the
So
actual
there's a 3-second delay. Therefore, Karen Read is guilty.
vehicle starts?
That's what this
Correct. So
gentleman is saying.
power's on.
All right, let's get.
In addition to that, we are comparing that data to surveillance video with timestamps as well to show
So
that
we're trying to see if that meets up the timestamps of the surveillance video and Karen Read's Karen. It's a vehicle and it's Karen.
consistency.
When
Consistency.
you engaged in your testing, you said there was 4 test runs or examples. Did you analyze it to see how in fact accurate it was?
Yes, I did.
And how accurate was it?
It was
So this man is another, like Trooper Paul, very smart. Okay, knows what he's doing. Not nervous at all.
clock is still not synchronized perfectly, so you would not expect this clock to match up perfect with other
There is a synchronization issue, according to this gentleman.
devices.
When you're considering 2 very different or separate devices, if the time is different, what would that be called?
Sure. So that would be called what's called a clock variance.
Clock variance.
I want to get into that later, but I want to finish what we have in front of us now.
Sure.
In addition to identifying the first power on event of January 29,
Okay, we're
2000,
going to skip
Those
ahead.
are coming from external sources. In the example,
So here's him saying, Read, leaving, returning to O'Keefe residence, 5:07:46 to 5:46:20 a.m. And here's got his little chart. And we're like, oh, look at you, vehicle. Look at you, Shannon, with your little charts. That's so cute. And then they got more here. We're still on direct. And soon Alessi will come and tear it all down.
And do you have an opinion to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty as to the accuracy of the power on and power off events as they pertain to the Lexus clock?
yes, I do,
And what is that opinion?
and that is that those timestamps are accurate to the second.
Did you further follow the data to see if there was any other power on, power off events relative to the Lexus for January 29, 2022?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did. Sure he did.
Could you take us to Exhibit 34, please?
Thingamajiggy.
What is this, Mr. Burgess?
Sure. So this is the next time that the vehicle is powered on and subsequently powered off. That power on event occurs at 12:35:01. The power off event occurs at 2:12:01. And then this video is a video from alarm.com surveillance that depicts the vehicle pulling into a driveway and shutting off. So when we look at the video and we watch the video, you can actually see at 2:12:01 in the video timestamp that the windshield wipers stop moving and the vehicle's suspension begins to lower, indicating that the ignition button has been pressed.
Let's start with the power on event. Was there any video available to show?
All right, we're going to skip ahead some more. I hate to do this to this man, but soon it's all coming crumbling down. So he had a lot of examples here. He put a lot of work into
Down
this.
at the Dighton residence?
Yes, they're off and backed off of the tow truck at that time.
And different devices and exceptional
Brennan will
events.
not shut up.
60 seconds. And while reviewing the power on and off events and comparing that to the surveillance videos that were provided, that was consistent with what we would have expected.
Did something compel you to further your study and compare the Lexus clock information on those 2 texturing events, the 3-point turn and the backing maneuver, to a different device?
Yes, there was a claim of attempting to synchronize those 2 clocks that I believe was potentially misleading.
So based on
So this is interesting. This is interesting. So this guy who later is going to be outed as basically a lying liar who lies or involved in we'll see. We'll see. Okay. And I'll let you guys be the judge of that, is saying that something's amiss with Karen Read's car and the clock, and somebody might have stepped in and did some dirty work, because Karen, she's just so evil. She's just in there, all the people in there changing clocks.
further your study and compare the Lexus clock information on those two text stream events, the 3-point turn and the backing maneuver, to a different device.
Yes, there was a claim of attempting to synchronize those two clocks that I believe was potentially misleading.
So based on reviewing that information and coming to that conclusion, did you on your own do any further study about the difference in clocks and attempt to synchronize them?
Yes, I did.
You said that you can synchronize if you have more than one device identifying a particular time. What do you mean by that?
Sure. So if we've got two devices that are recording a similar event, so let's say, for instance, a 3-point turn, if that is recorded with an iPhone, with the iPhone's clock, we can compare that event to the time that that event occurs and is recorded by the Lexus.
Were you aware of any device other than the Lexus recording that 3-point turn?
Yes, I was.
What were you aware of?
That would be an iPhone from Mr. O'Keefe.
iPhone.
Did you have data and information from Mr. O'Keefe's phone some time ago?
I did have partial location data from Mr. O'Keefe's iPhone.
iPhone.
Did you do something with his iPhone data as it relates to the Lexus clock on those two events, the 3-point turn and the backing maneuver?
I did on the 3-point turn, yes, and the backing maneuver.
And tell us what you did.
Sure. So I looked at when the 3-point turn occurred within the iPhone data and the location data in reference to that clock, and then looked at the same 3-point turn event as it was recorded from the text stream and the Lexus clock.
At some point, did you have enough data to make that full analysis?
Yes, I did.
Now, as a general concept, before we get to the 3-point turn in detail, I want to turn to page 39.
So we've seen enough here. He's questioning already. Like, I don't know. Something, I don't want your life. Okay. He was on Varsity Blues. This man, he was like, I don't want your life. I don't want your Lexus. Or maybe I do. So he's like, I don't know. There might have been mishandling. Something he thought within Karen Read's car and the time and the clocks and the synchronization and the synchronized swimming just wasn't adding up to this gentleman. This gentleman was like, something's amiss. And then let's get over to Alessi. So then that was direct. It's very long. If you want to watch it, I don't recommend it. I do recommend it for the trial channel. Go give them a like, but I don't recommend wasting your time watching all of that. But now let's head over to Court TV. We're gonna find Alessi cross-examine this man, and this man, it's not going to be a good day for this man. Okay. We are back. No, Paul O'Keefe is still in the back row. He's still in the back row. Now I'm going to be talking like this the whole live because I do like that gentleman's accent. Here comes Alessi.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Leslie.
Thank you, Your
Oh,
Honor.
damn, we should have known. He's giddy. Did you see Alessi? He dropped his stuff down. He's like, let me just finish this Halls, Your Honor. I'm excited because I'm about to tear you apart.
Good afternoon, Mr. Burgess.
Good afternoon.
Good
You
afternoon.
spell your first name Shannon with one N. Do I have that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Right there, I would disqualify this man. You cannot spell your Shannon with one N. There is no such thing. This coming from a Joleen, that's E-E-N. That's different. I know it's supposed to be E-N-E, but that was my mom. She's Eileen, E-E-N. Anywho, you never trust a Shannon with one N. Moral of the story. Objection. Joleen, that's ridiculous. What are you talking about? Overruled. Okay? It makes sense if you don't think about it. Never trust a Shannon with one N.
You describe yourself as a digital forensic examiner, correct?
Oh, no.
Yes, that's correct.
You use the term forensics often in your analysis.
Yes, I do.
And would you agree that generally the accepted definition of forensics is something that relates to, that's used in, and is suitable for a court of law?
Yes, I would.
And so when you're working in forensics, even in your office, you understand that eventually it's very likely that whatever work you're working on is going to end up or could end up in a court of law, correct?
Correct.
And you mentioned in your direct examination the scientific method, right?
Correct.
And I was pleased to hear mention of the scientific method. And I just want to cover some principles with regard to the scientific method. But before I do, I just want to see how forensics envelopes in certain items. So forensics applies scientific methods and principles to legal matters, particularly in criminal investigations, right?
Correct.
It's a fair statement.
Yes.
Thank you. And forensics are used to help lawyers in their preparation, correct?
Yes, that'd be correct.
And it's used to help judges in courts of law.
Yes, that is correct.
And it's also used to help juries and jurors to understand the results of scientific tests, correct?
Correct.
Yes, correct.
So you know, and you have to presume that as you are performing your analysis, as I stated earlier, that this information is going to end up in a court of law.
Correct.
And then does that heighten sort of the analysis that you need to do and the sharpness and the accuracy, given that it's going to end up in that form?
It can, depending on context.
And is the primary goal of forensic science to uncover the truth and to provide objective evidence that can be presented in a court?
Yes, it is.
Truth, Alessi.
Would you generally agree that the work of forensic science, including the work that you do, is intended to be used in court because scientific evidence can be very powerful and therefore the forensic science must be accurate?
Correct.
It must be methodical.
Correct.
There must be a method, right?
Right.
It must be detailed.
Yes.
And above all, it must be unbiased and truthful. Correct?
Oh,
That is
not
correct.
the truthful twice. He hit him with the
And
truthful.
all of this, is it fair to say, distills down to reliability?
Correct.
And reliability is a desired characteristic of the forensic scientist.
Yes.
You want people to be able to rely upon your work.
Yes.
And credibility and honesty is part of
Oh my God, he's already getting murdered. He has no idea. He has no idea what's coming, that they know he's lying about his qualifications and it's coming. And he's like, you would say that Alessi is just boom, 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 just like a slow but quick burn. You know, he's just like, so you say honesty is important? You need a scientific method. Truth, honesty, the pursuit of happiness, justice, clean underpants, but honesty, right? Got to be honest. Got to be able to trust you. In the job you do, you have to be very honest. You have to trust. Sure. Oh, watching it, knowing what I know now, I'm like, Alessi, you masterful man, you. David Cushmore, thank you so much for the super chat saying, I picked the Timberwolves in 6. What do you pick in the series? Oh, Timberwolves. I'm gonna say Timberwolves in 6 too. I like that. It's not gonna be an early sweep. We're not gonna do what we just did. We're not gonna be able to do what we just did. No, yeah. I'm with you on that one, David. I mean, I hope it's quicker just for my own sanity. And I talk so much shit during these games that I need a nap afterwards, but yeah. So I'm going to agree with you on that. I think it's not going to be a quick one.
reliability, and it's a fundamental component.
Reliability, honesty, integrity, reliability, integrity, honesty. He's like, I got that. Yes, I do, sir. When I'm looking at the vehicle.
And of that, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
You
Straight cooking,
stated that
Rachel.
you hold your opinions to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty. You said that several times on direct, correct?
Correct.
And because the discipline of forensics involves the application of the scientific method, as you stated on direct,
The hater.
you therefore, of course, applied the scientific method throughout your analysis, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Would you agree with the following statement of the scientific method? And tell me whether, well, let me start with, you understand, you know, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST?
Yes, I am familiar. Yeah.
And would you agree
NIST.
with a definition of the scientific method as the systematic pursuit of knowledge involving the recognition and definition of a problem, the collection of data through observation and experimentation, analysis of the data, the formulation, evaluation, and testing of hypotheses, and where possible, the selection of a final hypothesis? I know there's a lot there, and if you let me to break any of it down, you let me know.
No, I find that generally acceptable. Yep.
And I wanted to emphasize the evaluation and testing of hypotheses, and where possible, the selection of a final hypothesis. You understand what I'm meaning by hypotheses?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I have a bachelor's.
The scientific method is used, among other reasons, is it not, to avoid certain biases in the science process, correct?
Yes, that's
Right.
correct.
So the method is trying to prevent a scientist, not cultural bias, but scientific bias, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Do you know what the American Academy of Forensic Scientists refer to as cognitive biases in science?
You are, Trixie.
No, I do not.
Have you heard of the term confirmation bias?
Yes, I have heard of that term.
Have you heard of the term anchor bias in the scientific method?
I have not heard that term.
Let's start with confirmation bias. Is a fair definition, and you said you're generally familiar with that, right?
Yes, correct.
So let's start with that. That's the practice of sort of selectively gathering and interpreting evidence to confirm the scientist's belief.
Irene, how did I miss the flavor saver? Oh my, you can never trust a man with one N for Shannon, and never trust a man with a damn flavor saver. Okay, it also kind of looks like he's wearing a hat because there's a separation of front and back hair, separation of church and state going on his head. Oh my God.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Correct me up. Not the flavor saver. That is so grossly 90s. I can't even.
Because they're losers.
Because they're losers. Okay, let's go, Shannon. One N.
Belief or a belief of another, and at the same time neglecting evidence that contradicts them. Is that a fair definition of confirmation bias?
Yes.
And an example of confirmation bias is not considering alternative hypotheses once an initial hypothesis has been selected, even though the data and other information might contradict the initial hypothesis. Fair statement?
Yes, that's a fair statement.
And confirmation bias, although sometimes it occurs, is intellectually and analytically antithetical to it's opposing of the scientific method, correct?
Correct, yes.
And it's to be avoided.
Right.
Anchor bias is, and I know you said you didn't recall it, but let me see if this triggers a recollection. If not, fair enough.
Okay.
Anchor bias is when you prioritize information and data that support your initial impression of the evidence, even where the impressions are incorrect or it's unknown whether the impression is incorrect. You sort of anchor into that. Does that sound like a reasonable definition of anchor bias?
Yes, that sounds reasonable.
So biases are
At this point, this man's like, I don't think we learned that. It doesn't seem like Shannon with one N knows what he's talking about. He's like, that seems right. That's what I say all the time when I don't know what someone's talking about. Yeah, it's probably if you say so, I guess. I don't know.
Footnote 3.
Come on, Shannon.
In
Come on,
page 4, footnote
We're all cheering for you, Shannon. Don't blow it, Shannon.
3, it states, I'm sorry, sir, are you there?
Yes, I am sorry.
He also has a middle finger ring. Okay, the separation of front and back hair, and then we also have the middle finger ring and the one N in Shannon. This man should have been disregarded immediately. No offense, all offense, as untrustworthy.
It says evidence reviewed by the defense counsel Ray O'Keefe, MV homicide. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Yes, you're a good leader.
Now, you assumed in the very beginning that Miss Reed had hit Mr. O'Keefe with her car before you began the scientific testing that you had discussed in your direct.
No, that would be incorrect.
But you did list homicide down in footnote 3, correct?
Yes, I did.
And so this report's drafted January 30th, 2025, correct?
Correct.
And the testing, I'll just give you a snapshot. Some of the testing you discussed with Mr. Brennan, that testing didn't occur until after this trial started, correct? Some of the testing you described in direct?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay, so that testing didn't even occur in the trial. Just assume the trial started at April 22nd. So the testing you described when you were talking about aligning clocks and GPS, that occurred after April 22nd, correct?
Correct. You did.
Now let's go on to another topic.
Oh shit.
Let's talk about professional credentials.
Oh
You know what I
my
mean by
God.
the term credentials?
Yes, I do.
Oh my God. Look at he's like, his cheeks are getting redder. Did he know? Did he know right there what professional credentials? Oh my God, you guys, this is going to make us lose half a day of skiing.
And he has deterred you from enjoying the rest of what was a very expensive vacation.
Well, I lost half a day of skiing. Yes.
Right. Okay.
She lost half a day of skiing. All right, here we go. He's like this. The body, the demeanor's kind of changing with Shannon with one end. Poor Shannon. How's Shannon? We're all cheering for you, Shannon. How are you going to handle this? Let's see.
Another topic. Let's talk about professional credentials. You know what I mean by the term credentials?
Yes, I do.
Professional credentials are important in any profession, correct?
Correct.
And they're important in your forensic examiner profession as well.
Correct.
Your forensic scientists and examiners are no different than any other professional that credentials are important. And your profession requires you to provide curriculum vitae, laying out your education, training, and background, correct?
Correct.
And it's imperative, is it not, that the information that is disseminated about your professional credentials are absolutely truthful, right?
Yes, they should be.
Right there. Normally he's like, yes, sure. He's like, hey, I mean, they should be.
You say they should be. Let's continue on with that topic.
His cheek is
You
on fire.
understand what's meant by the term ethics, right? Generally?
Yes.
And simple ethics mandate that one is truthful about their professional credentials, correct?
Correct.
And a fundamental credential is what type of college degree you hold, correct?
Correct.
People rely on those credentials, and the credentials are the foundation of your expert opinions and analyses, correct?
They can be. Yes.
They can be, and they often are, correct?
Yes, they can be depending on context.
But more often than not, they're important.
Yes. Again, depending on context.
You know that not only your colleagues, but your clients, your firm clients, courts, and juries will rely on your CV and your credentials in order to make determinations about whether you're qualified.
I mean, let's be honest. I never met a guy with a flavor saver who had more than an associate's degree. And that's no shade, all shade. Okay. But let's be honest. Flavor savers, that's the height of, I've succeeded is an associate's degree. That's their master's degree when you got a flavor saver. But I digress. Objection. You sound ridiculous, Joleen. Overruled. I sound amazing and really smart. And this is all from my experience of being an asshole.
To testify in your depth of your qualifications, correct?
Correct.
And your credentials in order to make determinations about whether you're qualified to testify in your depth of your qualifications, correct?
Correct.
You provided the Commonwealth, the defense, and the court with your CV in this case, correct?
Correct.
William, you're killing me. 2 flavor savers. One on top of the head, one on bottom of the lip.
If I can have a moment, Your Honor, I will get my first exhibits.
Oh, damn. You're making him sit there through that. He's like, oh, shit. It's like you getting caught like that. It's just, why? Yes, ma'am. Objection. William would like to bring in that this man has 2 flavor savers, one on top of the head and one on the bottom lip. Okay, one below the lip. Sustained. I'm going to sustain that. That is a good point, William. He's making him wait. Oh, his cheek is on fire. His cheek is on fire. His cheek is on fire. Oh, he just looks so uncomfy. This poor man. Why did you lie, sir? Oh, boy. He's going to need a lot of water.
Welcome. May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Your Honor, if I could have this marked as the next exhibit
For identification?
for identification at this point.
Okay.
Even Bev wants to see this. She's like,
Well,
for
actually, I'm
identification.
going to have it, we'll be eventually offering it into evidence, so.
Okay.
and present it to the witness?
Let's mark it for identification.
Got to mark
Yep,
it
okay.
for a half day. Got to mark it.
TT for identification.
Oh, just making him wait. The most painful part for this guy. The neck is on fire. The ears are on fire. Oh my God. He's turned into a tomato face. DJ Tomato Face.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oof.
Ms. Burgess,
Yes.
I am presenting you with exhibit.
TT for identification.
I was, thank you, Your Honor. I'm learning not to talk while I'm walking backwards so Madam Court Reporter can hear me.
TT.
So I'm presenting you with what is exhibit TT for identification. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, I do.
And what is that document?
So this document appears to be my CV.
May I approach further? Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. And is that CV a document that you have prepared?
Yes, so that is a document that either I have prepared or the company Apture has prepared.
And is that a fair and accurate document?
It appears to be.
Your Honor, I offer that into evidence.
Any objection, Mr. Brennan?
No, thank you.
Brennan's like, awesome, great. My witness
And
is
you
a
could just,
liar.
If Your Honor, if I have the witness hold that, I have some
Hold on,
questions.
let's let it mark
Yeah,
first.
Sure.
Yep.
We got to mark it. Come on, Alessia. We got to mark it for a half.
183.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He almost threw up. Did you guys see that? He handed him it and he goes, thank you. Thank you. Oh, when you're caught in a lie like that, oh God, that's just, watch him. He almost like loses his lunch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's like, I can do this. I can do this. Keep lying. Keep lying. Come on, Shannon with one N. You got this. It's a vehicle. 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 Oh. Oof. Oh.
Mr. Burgess, you have in front of you your CV that we just spoke about, and I'd ask you please to draw your attention to the education section where underneath in red it says BGS, and then, do I read it correctly? It says Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration, University of Alabama Birmingham, Alabama currently pursuing. Did I read that correctly?
You did read that correctly.
Thank you, sir. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Currently pursuing.
Like this mark is the next for identification only at this point. Oh, excuse me, can I have that back on, Mr. Brown?
He's like, so far so good. A vehicle. I am currently pursuing this. Currently. Bless, he's so proud of himself. Bev's bangs are checking out. She's like, let me take a huff. Let me mark it. I got to mark it. Thank you, sir. He's your husband. Bought me beverages. Thank you.
May I hand it to the witness, Your Honor?
Like the sitcom, right? If you were like, yeah.
Okay, we need a sound effect when Chell enters. When my husband Chell, soon to be RN, enters, and it's the clap
From the sitcom.
from a sitcom. All right.
Like,
Remind me every time you come in. Give it up for Hype Man Husband Chell. Put your clap emojis. He came in with more caffeine to hydrate his silly goose wife. Okay. Now, Bev with the bodacious bangs today. She definitely let that hair air dry. That's what it looks like to me. Got a couple kinks in it. And she's like, I don't want to put heat on this. And she's reading over some stuff. Alessi's very proud, and this gentleman might just barf on himself. Shannon with one N.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to actually ask to have it marked for identification first,
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
Exhibit UU for ID.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Burgess, it's been marked. The document is Exhibit UU for identification.
UU
Could you
live.
please,
I love Mr. Burgess, Mr. Shannon with one N Burgess. This is marked UU for you are a liar. You are done, sir.
tell me if you recognize that.
Yes, I do recognize that.
And sir, please describe briefly what that is.
Sure. So it is a CV as well.
Thank you.
All the proof
I would
there.
offer it into evidence at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Brennan, any objection?
No, thank you.
Why isn't Brennan objecting? I want to hear from the lawyers, what the lawyers had to say today. I didn't get that far in the Emily D. Baker stream to hear why he's not objecting. But I'd be like, objection. Every other aspect when someone is lying and they're trying to cover it up, they're trying to cover up the truth. Brennan is objecting like a mofo. And now he's like, no, go ahead. Does he hate this man? Was this man a part of his federal case with the mafia guy, Whitey Ford Sings the Blues or whatever his name was? What did this man do to him at Aperture? This kind of looks like it could be Brennan's stepbrother. Have you looked at him? I feel like Hanky Panky, he's got a personal vendetta against this guy. And he's like, I want him to go down. Maybe they're stepbrothers. I don't know. Something weird's going on though.
Exhibit 184.
Alessi is just so excited.
I present it back to the witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Burgess, once you've had a fair opportunity to look at that, I have a question, and that question is simple. Is that your April 2025 CV?
Let me see. Yes, it appears to be.
He's just like, let me see here. Vehicle. It's gonna be a while, I think. I don't quite see it. And in his head, he's like, oh, fuck, Shannon with one N. What the fuck did you do? I told you shouldn't say you have that Bachelor of Science when you only have an associate's. It's a work in process. It's a 7-year work in process. How are we going to get out of this? That is the date. Oh, Shannon, we're screwed.
Thank you. And when you've had a fair opportunity to look at it, when you can just pick your head up, sir, to let me know you're ready. I don't want to rush you, but that.
Pick your head up, sir. Pick it up. Pick it up, Alessi said.
And I have some questions.
Absolutely.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Oh, Lordy.
So in those two exhibits, your two CVs in front of you, am I correct that the first one is November 2024 and the second one is April 2025?
Let me see.
This is such like when you get caught, it's so embarrassing, but kind of relatable. Not on a, lying on the witness stand, hopefully relatable. But he's like, let me see. When they're like, Joleen, you clocked in at 4, but you were supposed to be here. We didn't actually see you on the cameras. You said you were here at 4 on your timesheet, but you didn't get on the cameras till 6. You're like, let me see. I must have had a fat finger there. I don't know why my timesheet would be off. I couldn't possibly be making shit up. Let me check this out. He's totally trying to buy some time here, and I'm uncomfy for him.
Yes, that appears to be correct.
I think he
in
said
both of those CVs,
that appears to be. He's going to need a beer. He's like, beer me.
Yes, that appears to be correct.
in both of those CVs, you indicate that you have not yet earned a bachelor's degree.
That is correct.
And you certainly have not earned a Bachelor of Science degree in any educational field, according to those two CVs, right?
Correct.
And in fact, as you sit here today, you do not possess any bachelor's degree.
Correct.
And the reason, as you state, is because that bachelor's degree is currently pending. That's the term you use.
So I use currently pursuing.
Currently pursuing, yes. So you have a public profile that's published on Aperture's website, correct?
Yes, I do.
And it's in the form of a biography page?
Yes, I believe so.
And that biography page has your education listed?
Oopsie.
Very possible, yes.
You found your MySpace page, sir. It said
Yeah,
you
for
are
sure.
working on your PhD, your player haters degree. I too, if you look at my title, pending PhD circa 2018. Okay, it's pending.
Thank you.
Oh boy. He's a bachelor without a degree. You guys are killing me. He is. This would be like a
If I could have this
contestant
marked,
on The Bachelor.
please, and once Mr. Brennan reviews it.
Because they lie. Brennan's like, looks good. Put it in. Sidebar. No sidebar. Keep it going. Oh, this poor, look at him stare out, you guys. Oh, I don't want to feel bad, but he's just like, it's like the Charlie Brown. Do 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 do. Like he's and in that moment he realized he fucked up. Oh my God. Yes, Meg, get ready. Party.
Your Honor, may I have this marked as next identification in order?
Not they printed it out. So they basically printed out. I grabbed this from Emily D. Baker's stream earlier. Here's his aperture. Shannon Burgess, forensic expert. So you got the LinkedIn, you got the download the CV. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Order. Thank you.
Bev's like, okay.
Is it DV for ID?
May I hand it to the witness?
Yes.
I have now Mr. Burgess giving you Exhibit DV for identification.
Okay.
Not Exhibit DV. Oh, this guy can't win. Even with the, not DV. Yeah, Jacqueline says he's pitiful. They call him Mr. Pitiful. Baby, that's his name now. Oh, call him Mr. Pitiful. Every
You
place
recognize
he
that
goes. Objection.
Yes, I do.
And indeed,
No, we're gonna let it go.
that is the bio page that's published on Aperture's website, correct?
That is what it appears to be, yes.
Now, I would like you, sir, to turn to page 2
Not page
of
2.
that document.
Don't do it.
And I'd like to turn your focus to the bottom of education heading. It states, am I correct, sir, BS, mathematics, and business administration. Is that correct?
It does state that, yes.
It states on it that he has his Bachelor of Science in mathematics.
It states, am I correct, sir,
Oh, no.
BS, mathematics, and business administration.
That is very different than what he actually has. We got to listen to that one more time in slow motion. Slow motion. You got me wrapped inside this world. Here we go, you guys. Let's listen to it. Slow-mo. You can see it's like that Simpsons episode. You can see the moment that his heart broke.
Education head. It states, am I correct, sir, BS, mathematics, and business administration. Is that correct?
It does state that, yes.
And there is no qualification that's currently pending. It states BS in mathematics and business administration, correct?
That's what it states there, yes.
And you do not have a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Business Administration, do you?
No, I do not.
And you do not have a bachelor's in mathematics. Oh my God. Business administration. He's like, yeah, no, that's correct. Just a little error that went on here. Oof.
Business in BS in Mathematics and Business Administration, correct?
That's what it states there, yes.
And you do not have a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Business Administration, do you?
No, I do not.
Oh my God. Alessi just coming in. They need to put Alessi on the Real Housewives because he's got the receipts, proofs, timelines, screenshots, effing everything.
Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, everything.
Damn, sir. You could have just watched one season of Salt Lake City and realized that they're going to pull the receipts on you.
And if you click on the hyperlink for your CV on that same website, do you know where that hyperlink takes you?
No, I do not.
To any member of the public reading this, including prosecutor, a defense attorney, a judge, or a jury, that represents that you received your Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Business Administration, does it not?
Objection.
That's sustained.
Oh. Finally, we got a hanky-panky objection, Your Honor. She's like, that's sustained. It's a half day. Half.
Now, if you continue on to your photograph, are you familiar with Aperture's website that speaks about you and presents you generally?
Vaguely, yes.
Vaguely, yes.
Are you aware that Aperture has two hyperlinks, one that says CV and one says LinkedIn? Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am now.
And LinkedIn is a professional networking platform designed for career and business professionals to connect, share content, find jobs, etc. Is that a fair description of LinkedIn?
Yes, it is.
Oh, jeez.
And could we also conclude that it's a professional networking platform, especially for private sector firms like Aperture, that's used to attract clients or potential clients?
Yes, correct.
And potential clients include, for example, the Commonwealth of the state of Massachusetts, correct?
Correct.
And indeed, the Commonwealth is no longer, if you will, an attracted client, but it's an actual client of Aperture and you, correct?
Correct.
And that's the status of the relationship here. Aperture is a client of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in this case, right?
Correct.
Oh, man.
So is it fair to say that your CV, especially when it's published on a LinkedIn or published on a website, is something that is published to intend to have, especially if you're in the private sector, have clients view and retain your services? That's a hope and an expectation, correct?
Yes, that is part of it.
Now, when you look at that document, when you click on, if you were to be in your office, and let's see if you're familiar with this, you click on your LinkedIn on Aperture's page, that would ordinarily take you directly to your professional LinkedIn account, correct? Isn't that what the links are there for?
Yes, I would expect so.
He's sweating through his suit.
Are you notified when someone electronically accesses your LinkedIn account?
Oh, shit.
Not accesses, no. Are you referring to viewing?
Yes, that's a better for viewing. Yes.
Yes.
So you're notified. Were you notified within the last 72 hours that someone from the defense accessed your publicly available or viewed your publicly available LinkedIn account?
No, I was not aware.
Somebody was.
Are you aware
Disappeared.
that within the last 72 hours, that hyperlink on Aperture's official website was disabled?
No, I was not aware.
Are you aware that now if you try to go on that link, that you can't, that it's disabled?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Do you know whether anyone from Aperture directed someone within Aperture to disable your LinkedIn account within the last 72 hours?
No, I'm not.
Have you spoken to anybody at Aperture about your LinkedIn account?
No, I have not.
His mom is watching, and Silly Goose's mom thinks his mom's like, "Oh, I knew this little asshole would get in trouble. Let me type it in. LinkedIn.com. I think he has his saved here. Okay, delete this idiot. I knew I should have gave birth to him vaginally. God, but he had to turn breech ass first. He's been an ass since he was young. Objection, Joleen. Don't make fun of breech babies. Oh, overruled. I am a breech baby, and I did turn ass first at the last minute. I went face down, ass up, and my mom had to have an emergency C-section, so I can make those jokes. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So, you know, his mom was like, I knew he spent that money I gave him on college on something else, probably beer or for his overseas whores. This is the type of guy that gets caught in the 90-day fiance scandal. He's like, my girlfriend's in Romania. I haven't seen her. Her camera's always broken. We've been dating 6 years. Her camera's been broken for 6 years, but we're going to get married. I just have to keep sending her all of my money. and we're in love. She just can't come here right now. She's very busy, and they just don't fix cameras that quickly in Romania or wherever I said she was from. He's a breach baby if I ever saw one. Reminds me of myself.
Yep.
This man. Oh my God.
Your Honor, I'd like to move VB into evidence at this time, please.
Okay, any objection?
Freaky from the start, Meg.
This one.
This one, I presented to you. No objection.
Yeah.
Exhibit 185.
Oh. He just wanted the cool kids to like him. He's like, I'm going to say I have a bachelor's. It's taken me a while. It's in progress. He needs a Snickers. Unless he's like, here's more proof that he lied with his picture. Here's more proof that he's a liar. Here's proof that he definitely did lie again with his picture, email address, and his mother's maiden name. Oh, here's one with his social security. If you guys want to ruin his credit, thank you.
We are done with those. So if I could ask those back.
If I could have the evidence back that you were lying, that thank you. Oh yeah, sure. You know, he's just like, he's in that state where you're just like, you're shaking. You don't even know. I imagine this guy is just, oh yeah, okay. Oh. Absolutely. Thank you so much for exposing me. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Thank
can I have please the next one marked for identification at this point?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, on his Tinder it says hair loss pending. Pending hair loss. Allegedly. Just like mine says 155 pounds pending. I'm going to get there. Pending. Pending.
WW.
I thought Auntie Bev was out there going www.Shannon, what's his name? Shannon with one N lad.edu. No, not .edu because he doesn't have that. That would just be a .com.
May I present to the witness?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Burgess, I presented to you what is marked as Exhibit WW for identification. I'd ask that you take a look at it, take a fair amount of time, and then if you could, sir, pick your head up so I could see that you're ready.
Sure.
Way words that. If you could pick your head up so we see that you're ready. Take a fair amount of time. We know you're going to need it because you've been pending a bachelor's degree for 7 years. So we're going to give you time. It's pretty clear that you require a lot of time. Oh, no. And with the middle finger ring. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is a pending wedding band for my girlfriend I've never seen except for pictures from Romania for 6 years. It's pending on the middle finger. That's what they do in Romania to show they're engaged. A man wears it on his middle finger, and you can't see her until she dies. So we'll get married. I'll give her half of everything I own or more. And then when she dies, I get to see her. Until then, it's just how they do it. It's culture. Vehicle.
Okay.
So,
do you recognize that document, sir?
Yes, it appears to be a screenshot of.
I can't stop pausing because it's so ridiculous. I think it's his purity ring. I honestly think it's his purity ring. He's like, I can't get this fucker off. So I've been pure my whole life. Not because I want to, but I can't take this off. And I don't know how my dick works. Okay. All right. Stop having so much fun. Objection, Jolene. You're having too much fun. Okay. Overruled. I do what I want.
Of my LinkedIn account.
Do you recognize that document, sir?
Yes, it appears to be a screenshot of my LinkedIn account.
Your Honor, I offer that into evidence.
You can't lie on LinkedIn. It's crazy. Right, Graf? It's a mood ring. It turns black when you're lying. Oh boy. He looked over at the jury like, hey lady. Okay, nope, no one's interested. Everyone's giving me dirty looks.
Right. Can I see you at sidebar with you?
We got sidebar. Look at this guy. He's like, oh, he is redder than ever. It's interesting that the red never makes it up to the top. On the top, make it drop. It's tomato from the eyes down. Okay, so this is not the trial channel, so we don't have their wonderful editing to get rid of the sidebars. Donkadonis. We're back, baby. The defense is like, this is pretty awesome. They're like, this is awesome, Alessia. You're doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you.
May I approach you?
Yes.
Thank you. Burgess, I am presenting to you what has been marked as Exhibit WW for identification. That is
what a weirdo.
a fair and accurate representation of your personal LinkedIn page? You could take a moment to take a look.
Look at Bevy. Look. Oh my God. Bodacious Bangs Bev. Check out Bev. I'm going to make myself smaller. She's like, She doesn't like this.
That is that a fair and accurate representation of your personal LinkedIn page? You could take a moment to take a look.
Sure.
So Leslie, we actually step back so all the jurors can see
Yes,
that.
Your Honor.
Alessia, I'm going to ask you to step back. You're too much in my yeah, I want to see half of you for a half day. You're not marked. Okay. If it was Hank Brennan, Hanky Pank, I'd be like, step forward. But since you're Mr. Alessia, I don't really want to see half of you.
Thank you.
Ugh. I think Bev might be a dominatrix on the side because she just wants to humiliate these dudes. She's like, step back. Mr. Alessia, I need you to step back. Back, father, half up, half back, half up, half back. You idiot. Get it, Bev. Bev's a dom, dude. And they're watching him read. This is like every kid's and grown-up person's nightmare. You just F up so royally, you're caught in a lie. You can't hold back. And now they're watching you read. And everyone's like, and you can't read? Because we have no proof this guy can read. Oh my God.
Yes, it does with a error on page 2 regarding education.
Right, and we're going to get to that.
Sure.
But this is you recognize this as a fair and accurate depiction of your personal LinkedIn page with the exception of what you just mentioned, correct?
Correct.
Did you draft that document that's represented as Exhibit WW?
I have drafted that over time, yes.
And when was the last time you viewed that document on your LinkedIn page?
I don't typically view the profile page, so it would have been, I could not tell you how long it's been.
Do you have any reason to believe that that Exhibit WW is not on your LinkedIn page online as we sit here today?
No, I don't.
Your Honor, I move Exhibit WW into evidence.
No objection.
I bet you he did not think he was going to be such a topic. He was like, they're calling me in because I'm smart. I'm wicked smart. And really, it's just about how you lied.
Exhibit 186.
Thank you.
Next is 187. Oh, no. Shannon, no. 186. Next is 187. Mm-mm.
I would like to turn your attention to your personal, the printout of your personal LinkedIn page and go right to the second page, bottom. And under education, it says University of Alabama at Birmingham. It's got a little UAB acronym there. And it says Bachelor of Science, paren, B period, S period, comma, Applied Mathematics and Scientific Computation, 2016-2018. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, I do.
That's not correct, is it?
No, it's not correct.
And you do not hold ABS in a Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics and Scientific Computation from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, do you?
I do not. And that would have been, at that time, an expected graduation date?
So it would be expected, you state.
Correct.
It would be.
I expect a lot of things too. Okay. Jolene, this is in fact not your address. This is a very large home, a mansion, one would say, in the Hollywood. Well, that's an expected home that post dated. I remember when Jim Carrey post dated that check to himself. He was like, $1 million. I think that guy heard the Jim Carrey story. He sent himself $1 million check and post dated it. And then he became a millionaire. So he's like, well, if I do this, if I put this on my LinkedIn, surely I'll graduate. And then 7 years later, he's like, damn, the Jim Carrey method didn't work.
Would be another word for, is it another word currently pursuing?
Correct.
Oh, jeez.
It would be another word for, another word currently pursuing. Is that similar to expecting?
Sure, that could be similar.
But you know how to put currently pursuing down, don't you, sir? Because you did it on the first few CVs, but you don't have it on your LinkedIn page. Am I correct?
Correct. That's probably because obviously that has not been updated in quite some time.
And
Quite some time.
you said you get notifications when people access your LinkedIn page, correct?
I get selective notifications when people view my LinkedIn page.
Oh,
So you know-
so now it's selective. Before it was I do not when you log in, not when someone accesses it, but when you look at it. Yeah, I get now it's selective. So I didn't see yours. And he's like, Mama, it's me, Shannon. I know I fucked up again, Mama. Okay, this time I promise. I don't have the money to pay you back yet for that bachelor's degree that I don't have that's pending. Anyway, I need you to log into my computer. It's in the basement near the bedroom where I sleep. And I need you to delete it. Hurry, Mama, hurry. They're going to look at me. Poor Shannon.
know people are looking at your LinkedIn page. You know people are looking at your education. And you have down here 2016 to 2018. So that time period is 7 years old from 2018, yet you use the 2016 to 2018 on your LinkedIn page, correct?
Correct. With the caveat that my understanding is people look at your post, not specifically the profile information.
Oh, so you believe you know apparently when people are looking at it and what they look at?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying generally.
Generally.
Generally
Correct.
what?
But you don't know who's looking at the education section on your LinkedIn page and relying upon what is represented here, that you have a Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics and Scientific Computation from the University of Alabama at Birmingham.
Not from the LinkedIn page. Yeah, just independently of the LinkedIn page, yes.
And as you sit here today, that page is still live on your LinkedIn, correct?
Correct.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
So a key aspect of your credentials, whether or not you have obtained a Bachelor of Science, is incorrect in more than one document that I presented here today, correct?
No, I would not agree with that.
Well, it's incorrect in...
Oh, my. This guy. At this point, I'm so embarrassed. Also, this just goes to show you, kids, you don't really have to go to college. No one checks. I will be honest with you. In all the corporate jobs I've had, no one's checked to see if I have a degree. No one has asked me to prove I have a degree. I just put it on my resume. So you can pretty much put anything on your resume, okay? But I do have a bachelor's degree. For real, for real. I could say I have a master's degree. It's pending. I did 1 year of human resource management. And then I was like, oh, no. This sucks. This too hard. And then I quit. But I guess now I could just put that I have it and it's pending, just similar to how I have my PhD pending. So just shoot for the lying stars, kids. Feel free. Put it on your. Are they going to check? And if they do, go, oh, sorry, I thought it was pending. Have you ever heard of Shannon Burgess? Okay, I'm using the Shannon Burgess method. Have you heard of the scientific method? This is the Shannon Burgess method.
In more than one document that I presented here today, correct?
No, I would not agree with that.
Well, it's incorrect in this one, correct?
Correct.
And
me too, William.
The one previously to that, there's two documents that have you listed. This LinkedIn, may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. So there's two documents, is there not, sir? There's, may I?
Sure.
Thank you. And then report if I can have the previous one in evidence. So if you could hold that, this one, sir, and I'm going to take that if I could from you. Thank you. And Exhibit 185 that's in evidence, if you can turn to the second page. So if you look at each of those state that you have a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Business Administration. So there are two documents about your credentials that are inaccurate, correct?
Yes, they have errors. Yes.
Oh my God,
sure.
sir.
Yeah, both. Yes. There you go.
Holy shit. Sure. Yeah, it may say I'm overdrawn in my bank account today, but it actually means I'm pending net positive. That's what that means. Thank you, NYC. DNP. Oh my gosh. Sure. Yeah. Oh, so there's two things that are okay. Incorrect. Yeah, incorrect. It's they got these fat thumbs. I just put BS. I meant AA. AS. ASS. AS.
Okay, Roger, Your Honor.
Yes.
I have the next document marked.
Thank you
for
so much.
identification at this point.
Oh. This guy's face. It's just I want to feel bad for him, but I also don't, because literally Karen Read's life is on the line here in a murder trial, and he's just like, I'm just gonna lie, all while claiming that what the stuff he saw on her car, that something might have been played with, something wasn't right there, while he's all of not right. So I can't fully feel bad for him, but it's just that round red tomato face and the hair separation, just, it makes me want to pity him a little. But I won't. I can't and I won't. Objection. He's overheating, Your Honor.
This mark is the next for identification.
Overruled. We don't care. He's half overheating. Half overheating.
You hand it to the witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you. Handing the witness exhibit XX for identification. Do you recognize that document, sir?
So it appears to be a CV, yes.
A line, see.
You say it appears to be a CV. Can you describe that any further?
Yes, so it's a copy of my CV.
Is that a CV you prepared, sir?
It would have been prepared by myself or Aperture, yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the end.
Sorry, it would have been prepared by myself or Aperture, yes.
Oh, now he's like, Aperture's a liar too. If I'm going down, they're going down too. Aperture, you're going down.
Yourself or Aperture?
Correct.
But you had, at a minimum, a role in preparing that, did you not?
More than likely, yes.
Yeah, and you would have reviewed that because it's about you before it would have been used by Aperture, correct?
More than likely, yes.
You wouldn't let somebody put a CV up and out to the public without you reviewing it, would you, sir?
So there are other staff members that do review and update CVs.
But you're the only one who's going to know whether what's on it is accurate or not, correct?
Unless I explain that to them, yes.
So either way, either you prepared it yourself or you interacted with somebody and explained it and collaborated with them to make sure it was right to the best of your ability, correct?
Correct.
If you can look at the highlighted portion, sir, under education.
There's no highlight. Well, I understand what you're talking about. There's no highlighted portion.
I'm sorry. Let's strike that. If you look under education,
no highlight.
The first line, it says in the right underneath BGS. Do you see that, sir?
I do, yes.
And then to the right, it says Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration, University of Alabama - Birmingham, Alabama, 2022. Did I read that correct?
Yes, you did.
And up in the upper left-hand corner, there's a photograph.
Yes, there is.
Is that you, sir, in the photograph?
Yes, it is.
And in the spelling of your name, Shannon, that's with one N, correct?
Correct, yes.
And so that is not only you in the photograph, that's the spelling of your name with one N, correct?
Correct.
And that's the...
So Leslie's like, not only is your CV, resume, all the things, your education inaccurate, but so is the spelling of your name. Shannon with one N. Is that one N, sir, in your face? Okay.
Shannon, that's with one N, correct?
Correct, yes.
And so that is not only you in the photograph, that's the spelling of your name with one N, correct?
Correct.
And that's the correct spelling of your first name with one N, correct?
Yes.
So that's definitely you represented in this document, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Now let's look at the first line that relates to education. It states Bachelors of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration, correct?
That is what it states, yes.
And the date is 2022, correct?
Correct.
So this document represents that you received your Bachelor's of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration in 2022, correct?
That is what it states, but there are a number of errors in that, yes.
Correct.
No shit.
So let's go on. So this is the third.
That is what it states, but there is a number of vehicle errors in that. Yeah, no shit, sir. You don't have a Bachelor of Science degree that you said was pending in 2018, and now you say you received in 2022. That's a number of errors.
Third example, am I correct, sir? Well, let me, may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Oh,
Your Honor, at this time, I offer Exhibit XX into evidence.
oh,
Okay.
they're offering dirty exhibits. XX, you guys. Viewer discretion advised. I think they found his OnlyFans.
The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
You've been warned.
Objection.
Right? You say you have an OnlyFans that people actually pay for. What we found, your analytics, 0 people are paying for it, Shannon, with one N. 0 people. 0. That's
Sir, is
maybe yeah.
Exhibit 187 a CV that is linked directly from Aperture's website?
I do not know. I would have to look and check that.
So as you sit here today, you are not able to state whether that CV is linked directly from Aperture's website?
Correct.
Deborah has said the red blotch has officially reached the forehead. I repeat, the red blotch has officially reached the forehead.
What are you, an idiot?
Maybe, Judy, maybe. Thank you,
So
Deborah, for
this
the
is a
update.
third example of a document that incorrectly states that you have a Bachelor of Science when you do not possess that degree, correct?
It has errors or outdated information, correct?
Well, when you say outdated, how is it that you can call a date outdated next to something that you don't possess?
I don't understand your question.
Well, you just used the phrase either incorrect or outdated. I'm trying to understand your statement that it's
Oh my God.
Sure. So
outdated. Isn't it either you have a Bachelor of Science degree or you don't? Isn't
I have represented I do not have a bachelor's degree.
correct? But in here, it's represented that you do, correct?
Yes, it is
All
an
right.
error, yes.
So
It's an error that's on my LinkedIn, my CV, my CVV, the Aperture, on the LinkedIn, on the website, on my website, on my OnlyFans, on my Instagram, on my MySpace, on my Facebook, on my Friendster, on my Twitter, on my Blue Sky, on my Threads, all errors.
are you, let's look at what the name is that are on these documents. It
says here that you put yourself is big dick, small chode, all balls, Shannon Burgess. Is that right? Big dick, no chode, all balls, Shannon Burgess. Is that what? Okay. It also says can go all night if you want me to, or can get it done right out the gate. Is that correct, sir? We have interviewed multiple women that is not true. There was no one that would testify to big dick, big balls. Okay. They said it was all taint. All taints. It was tainted. All taint.
says Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration. Do you see that, sir?
I do.
Are you aware that there's no degree at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, called a Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration?
Yes, I am. And that is one of the errors I've identified.
So you would agree that there's...
He picked a school that doesn't even have the degree he says he has from that school. This is crazy pants. I would say this is unbelievable, but in the Karen Read trial,
outdated,
that adds up.
That you can call a date outdated next to something that you don't possess.
I don't understand your question.
Well, you just used the phrase either incorrect or outdated. I'm trying to understand your statement that it's outdated. Isn't it either you have a Bachelor of Science degree or you don't? Isn't
I have represented I do not have a bachelor's degree.
Correct. But in here, it's represented that you do, correct?
Yes, it is
All
an
right.
error, yes.
So let's look at what the name is that are on these documents. It says Bachelor of General...
Okay, update. It is not only, the redness has not only reached the forehead, it has now entered the river area between the two hair islands.
The French toast. Did you think I wouldn't find out about your little doo-doo head cootie queen?
Who are you calling a cootie queen, you lint liquor?
Allegedly.
As you can see. Okay.
General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration. Do you see that, sir?
I do.
Are you aware that there's no degree at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, called a Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration?
Yes, I am. And that is one of the errors I identified.
So you would agree that there's not even a degree called Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration offered at the University of Alabama, correct?
Correct. That should be Bachelor of General Studies with minor in Mathematics and Business Administration.
What?
And what you just articulated, you do not possess, as you sit here today, correct?
That is correct.
What you possess is...
So you got your lie wrong, but it's still a lie, even when you correct the lie with the correct information from the school. Are we following this? He's like, yes, it's actually, the lie should be business administration, general, minor mathematical aptitude. Oh my gosh. Just start crying, Shannon. This is the point where you literally just tears for fears. Maybe it'll get you out of this. This is crazy. Yeah, he is graduating summa cum nada, or cum sum nada.
An associate's degree,
Oh,
correct?
God.
And what you just articulated, you do not possess, as you sit here today, correct?
That is correct.
What you possess is an associate's degree, correct?
Correct.
And when did you obtain that associate's degree?
So that would have been 2015.
You're not a lie, an error. An error. Yeah, how are you going to have a minor? You don't even have a
Are
bachelor.
you familiar with the term mendacity?
I am not.
This pause is killing me.
Are you familiar with a CV of 2015?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Mendacity, untruthfulness, lying. People publicly lying publicly, like untruthful lying. Did he say, are you familiar with the truth? Mendacity?
Familiar with the term mendacity?
Oh my gosh. And then Alessi hits him with the mendacity.
I am not.
Of course he's not. I wasn't, but I am not a blatant liar. I'm a fibber. Not the mendacity. Oh no. Oh no. And the long pause.
I mean, come on. I know you. You know you. And I know you know that I know you.
He knows you, and you know you, and you know he knows you. This is just, when does it end?
Are you familiar with a CV of 2015?
No, I'm not.
He's looking over at like, sorry, Hanky. Sorry, I just wanted to be the big guy on campus for one time. Sorry, Hank. I guess I'm worse than Trooper Paul. Yes. Oh. He's thirsty. He's got to get that temperature down.
Your Honor, may I have this marked as the next exhibit for identification, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Why?
The cheekbones on Alessi.
Thank you.
More reading.
Do you recognize that document, sir?
No, I do not recognize this document.
Yeah, put your
Yes.
What if he was like, do you recognize this document? He's like, no, I don't recognize this document. He's like, that's a bachelor's degree. You've clearly never seen one of those. Oh yeah. No, I don't recognize it. Now, if it was an associate's degree, you'd recognize it. Yeah, that's a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. Oh, yeah, I've never seen one of these. Can you get one of these made for me? No, I should probably just get the bachelor's. Okay.
Sure.
I wish he would have just had a bachelor's degree for him. Oh my God.
Do you recall ever pursuing, may I stand here and ask some questions, Your Honor?
Okay.
Thank you.
Did he see the document as well, or do you have a copy for him?
He can see it as well, Your Honor.
Okay. I was just wondering the purpose.
Yep, sure.
and just step back.
Yes,
just a little.
yep. Sir, do you recall when you started pursuing a Bachelor of Science degree of any kind?
Sure, I do. Around 2008.
So you started pursuing a Bachelor of Science for the first time in 2008,
That's a long time, sir. It is 2025. Do the math.
correct?
Correct.
But you don't have the Bachelor of Science in math, so maybe you can't. Oh, what was that facial? We need to see it. We study the people over here. Okay, let's look at his. We might need to make him big for a little bit.
Time in 2008, correct?
Correct.
His face is starting to twitch. It's like, we're out of control. We are out of control. Shannon with one in. The lies, the lies, the lies, the candy bursts of it all. He's like, you know, they always say you can push it down, but your body always reacts. His body's starting to react. He's starting to short circuit. Johnny 5 style.
If I did the math correctly, sir, you've been pursuing a Bachelor of Science degree for 17 years, correct?
That is correct.
And you have not obtained it as you sit here today.
That is correct.
Objection, Alessi. You are dragging this man to hell. You need to be on Comedy Central's roast battle. Alessi, stop with this. You have been trying to obtain a Bachelor of Science 4-year degree for 17 years. You just raised a teenager in the time. You could have got this bachelor's degree. Oh my God. Oh my God. I did not watch it up until this part. So this is all new to me. Oh my God, Alessi. Stop, but keep going, but stop, but keep
If
going.
I did the math correctly, sir, you've been pursuing a Bachelor of Science degree for 17 years, correct?
That is correct.
And you have not obtained it as you sit here today.
That is correct.
And yet there are the various documents that we've seen that state that you have obtained a Bachelor of Science, correct?
Again, with errors or misinterpretation. Yes.
Overruled,
Errors or
Beth.
misinterpretation that are you stating, but you would agree those errors or misinterpretation have been in existence for some time, correct?
Yes, I'm being made aware of them now. Yes.
Yeah, and they haven't been corrected for some time, correct?
Correct.
Add Alessi to Bravo Television. His reads are on point. He's got the Phaedra level reads going on. We need more lawyers on Bravo. Oh my gosh. His ear and neck are fully red. The forehead, the hair island, it's all red.
You work for insurance companies, correct?
I do work for insurance companies in addition to law firms. Yes.
But you work for insurance companies, correct?
Yes.
Don't tell Luigi. Oh my God. Of course he works for insurance. Of course this dickhead works for insurance companies.
Sometimes, yes.
Well, you state that right in your report in this case, don't you, sir? That you work for insurance companies?
Again, I do work for insurance companies. Yes.
And what role do you play in working for insurance companies? You working for them?
Denying people
Or are
coverage.
you working for the policyholders that have paid premiums or are making a claim to try to get money from an insurance company? Which role do you have? Objection.
I'll allow that.
So I work for the insurance company themselves.
Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. I'm going to save the insurance company money and deny you your claims. I'll look into it with my fake degrees and my fake hairline. Oh my, of course he does. Of course he does.
And in your work for the insurance company, has any of that work related to denying claims to insurance? Objection.
Why don't I see you on this, Mr. Lassie?
Sure.
Listen, Bev. Objection, Bev. We need to know if he's fully a part of the evil empire. Objection, Bev. Okay, I'm going to give a sidebar, and then we'll figure it out with some Dunkin' Donuts. Bev, let us know. We have a right to know. This man has wasted our time and lied. Come on now. And he wants to put a lady in prison for the rest of her life when he's a whole ass liar himself. Sidebar.
You familiar?
Oh my God. hair island of lies. Your hair is an island of
May I, Your
lies.
Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Are you familiar with the phrase academic dishonesty?
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm. Well, now he is, because that's what he did.
Let's talk about your work on this case.
What an asshole.
In October of 2024, the Commonwealth hired you to perform a new data acquisition from the infotainment and telematics system of Ms. Read's Lexus SUV, correct?
That is correct.
And in your October 10, 2020.
Don't you let this lying, fraudulent man with lies living in his hair island look into Karen Read's car. Ugh, disgusting. She's an actual professional with credentials she doesn't lie about.
24 report, you outlined a proposal for attempting to extract additional data from the telematics and infotainment modules, correct?
Correct. With the caveat, it's not a report, it is a proposed protocol.
Holy Geico.
So we'll call it a proposal. In that proposal, you explain why, in your opinion, you believed an additional data acquisition was necessary based on your words, education, training, and background, correct?
That is correct.
And when you compared your proposal.
Oh my God, I got to hear that again. How these people can just fucking lie and put themselves on, you know, like they're above anybody. Like, I'm here to judge this woman. Her life's on the line. I'm doing it through my credentials and my academics that I'm fucking lying about.
We'll call it a proposal.
Oh my God.
In that proposal, you explain why, in your opinion, you believed an additional data acquisition was necessary based on your words, education, training, and background, correct?
That is correct.
And when you compared your proposal, you had access to the manufacturing specifications of the chips in question, correct?
I did.
You were under no critical deadlines to get the work done, correct?
Correct.
In your initial October 10, 2024 report, you explained that you believe the data acquisition was incomplete because, in your opinion, based on your education, again, your words, training, and experience, the download of the acquisition was less than the chip's storage capacity, correct?
That is correct.
And converting megabytes, B-Y-T-E-S, to megabits, B-I-T-S, and gigabytes to gigabits is a basic digital forensic concept. And that concept's critical to successful data acquisition and analysis. Fair statement?
I would say that's a fair statement.
In your initial report, you stated that the December 2023 data acquisition was from the spansion clip, S-P-A-N-S-I-O-N, from the infotainment model was incomplete because the acquisition was only 8 megabytes in size, even though the chip has a storage capacity of 64 megabytes, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And that's your October 10, 2024 report, correct?
Protocol.
I'm sorry. Was it proposal or protocol?
Protocol.
Protocol?
It is a protocol.
We'll use protocol.
How, like, the frustration of a dumbass like this being able to be considered an expert going after Karen Read and her case. It's mind-boggling, this idiot. Oh my gosh. And how he does not recognize his own, like, hypocrisy and his own lies. You live on a hair island of lies.
And you blame this on the, quote, programmer's inability to fully read the component, close quote, correct?
Correct.
In point of fact, the manufacturing specifications establish that the total flash memory component of the chips in question is equal to 64 megabits, not 64 megabytes, correct?
That is correct.
64 megabits is 8 megabytes, correct?
That is correct.
That means the spansion chip was not incomplete, correct?
Correct.
The acquisition was the same data size as the total memory storage capacity of the chip, correct?
Correct.
Your protocol for data acquisition was based on a misunderstanding of megabits versus megabytes, correct?
It was based on a working theory and a misinterpretation, yes.
And that was your misinterpretation.
Yes, it was.
So you're the idiot. You don't know megabits, megabytes, kibbles and bits like you guys are saying in the chat. Hollyana, thank you for the super chat. Hollyana says, I have a doctorate in mathematics, criminology, and surgery from Harvard. Oh, congratulations. I can print a diploma. You can't call Harvard. We wouldn't. We wouldn't think about calling Harvard. Me too. I actually went to Stanford. Yes, I have a master doctorate of media literacy. Yep, that's what I have there. Master doctorate, doctor master, you can call me.
You mentioned Ms. Gaffney in your direct testimony. Do you recall that, sir?
Yes, I do.
She successfully acquired 8 megabytes of data from that.
The way it was, he's like 8 megabytes, bits and bytes and bytes and bits and bobs. If you're in the UK, we call them bits and bobs.
Expansion chip during the December 2023 chip haul, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And that wasn't your only conversion mistake in your October 10, 2024 report, was it?
I'm not aware of any others.
You stated in the report that the data acquisition of the Micron JWB57 was incomplete because the acquisition was only 540 MB in size, but the storage capacity was 4 GB, and that's stated in your October 10, 2024 report, correct?
Protocol, yes, correct.
Oh my God.
The Micron JWB57 chip is 4 gigabits flash memory component, not a...
See, I thought they were talking about the JW Marriott, which is a very nice hotel I hope to be able to afford one day with a BS in mathematics and management. I said there was a Venti and also a Grande hard drive. They reached maximum Venti-ness and it was a Grande, but really it was just a small with the pike roast, and it was burning up with a latte, a Grande latte with oat milk and cinnamon powder. That's what I said in my report.
A 4 gigabyte flash memory component, as you incorrectly stated in your component.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
The Micron JWB57 chip is 4 gigabits flash memory component, not a 4 gigabyte flash
Indeed,
memory
Venti,
component,
that is.
as you incorrectly stated
Trenta.
in your protocol.
That is correct.
So contrary to your assertion in the report, 4 gigabits is equal to 50 megabytes, which suggests that all the available data was successfully retrieved from this chip during the first acquisition by Ms. Gaffney, correct?
Correct.
So Ms. Gaffney was not in error on that. She did not make a mistake on that, correct?
Not on that.
This man seems to have objection. This man seems to have a pattern of blaming women for his own idiocracy.
I mean, if women didn't get
Sustained. Hi, my husband Chill coming in. Love you too. Are you going to the gym?
Yeah, I tried to take him out. He peed an hour ago, but Teddy couldn't pee.
Okay. Put some hearts in the chat for hype man husband Chill coming in. Chill, did you know I have a master's degree from Stanford?
Dog was one of us.
Are you dancing with the dogs?
Just a cat like wow.
Okay. He's had enough. He's had enough. We needed a little break from this idiot.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. He's just blaming women. She's wrong. She's wrong.
Does he have a podcast?
He does have a podcast. My
Oh,
husband says, does he have a podcast?
I'll put it
Probably.
Right next to Jax's what a
Yes, add it to your podcast recommendations with Jax Taylor's. What is his? In the mind of Jax Taylor, which was in the mind of a man.
A specific thing, yes.
Right.
Oh,
It was you that simply misunderstood the difference between gigabit
So stop blaming the uteruses, sir. You got me
to
all.
obtain no additional information.
Oh my gosh, you got me all in my feelings, and then I accidentally rewound. You keep blaming the uteri. Free the uteri. They know more than you, sir. Okay? Any well-respected woman would just shave that part that doesn't meet this part to this part. That's what we would do. His podcast is called Yes, Men Being Mendacious. Oh my gosh. That will be Shannon's next gig. In the Mind of Shannon podcast. How these women fuck me over. He's just like an angry little incel or something. Because why is he going after so many women?
Just, I want to make sure I have this right. So you would skim it. You would look for what you material for you. Did anybody tell you to avoid
Let me rewind. I lost my spot.
and reconstruction report prepared by a trooper in that case?
1.21 gigawatts.
Would you
always known the difference between a bit and a byte? Yes.
Do you though? Do you?
Certainly a part.
Like I can have a bit of this, but if I go like this, I took a bite of that. Clearly, I know the difference, mister. If I just grab a little bit, let's say of some cornbread, I'm having a bit of it. But if I grab the cornbread and go like this, I am having a bite of that. Clearly, I have a bachelor's degree.
Part of it was, correct, sir?
Correct, partial.
You got conversions wrong with respect to analyzing 3 different chip during the October 10, 2000.
Why? Did he see the document as well, or do you have a copy for him?
You can see, do you recall when you started pursuing a Bachelor of Science to extract additional data from the telematics and infotainment modules?
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to find where
Correct.
we were.
With the caveat, it's not a report, it is a proposed protocol.
You believed an additional data acquisition was necessary. Proposal, you had access to the manufacturing specifications of the chips in question, correct?
I did.
It was incomplete because, in your opinion, based on your education, again, your words, training, and experience, the download of the acquisition was less than the chip's storage capacity, correct?
That is correct.
And converting megabytes, B-Y-T-E-S, to megabits, B-I-T-S, and gigabytes to gigabits is a basic digital forensic concept. And that concept's critical to successful data acquisition and analysis. Fair statement?
I would say that's a fair statement.
In your initial report, you stated that the December 2023 data acquisition was from the Spansion clip, S-P-A-N-S-I-O-N, from the infotainment model was incomplete.
Right, I think I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. I think I rewound a little too far. But yes, like Susan's saying, great point, Susan. We all have bachelors of mathematics and technical stuff because a bit is just a small bite. All right? You take a little bit, but taking a bite is like it's a mouthful.
Because the correct applications.
Theory and a misinterpretation, yes.
And that was your misinterpretation.
Yes, it was.
You mentioned Ms. Gaffney in your direct testimony. Do you recall that, sir?
Yes, I do.
She successfully acquired 8 megabytes of data from that Spansion chip during the December 2023 chip-off, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The chip-off of 2025.
And that wasn't your only conversion mistake in your October 10, 2024 report, was it?
I'm not aware of any others.
You stated in your report that the data acquisition of the Micron JWB57 was incomplete because...
Not a Dodge Stratus. The Stratus has status. Oh my gosh. Alessi, Shannon, you mentioned you drive a BMW, but is it fair to say you in fact drive a Dodge Stratus? Shannon, I thought BMW meant big, mendacious worm. That's what I thought, but I guess I was technically, it just hadn't been updated. It was I'm pending a BMW, but the Stratus has status.
Because the acquisition was only 540 MB in size, but the storage capacity was 4 GB, and that's stated in your October 10, 2024 report, correct?
You're confusing him. Alessi. Protocol.
The Micron JWB57 chip is 4 gigabits flash memory component, not a 4 gigabyte flash memory component, as you incorrectly stated in your protocol.
That is correct.
So contrary to your assertion in the report, 4 gigabits is equal to
All right, we went a little too far
position
back.
should have been 2 gigabytes, but was incomplete because the long alphanumeric number is a 2 gigabit flash memory component, not a 2 gigabyte flash memory component, as you incorrectly stated in your protocol, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So 2 gigabytes is equal to 250 megabytes, correct?
Correct.
And that suggests that all available data was successfully retrieved during the first acquisition by
Was successfully retrieved. Okay, I know we've heard some of this, but let's just hear it again.
Ms. Gaffney, correct?
From those chips, yes.
From those chips. I'm correct, right?
Yes.
Your opinion was again incorrect and was based on a misunderstanding of gigabits and gigabytes, correct?
A misinterpretation, correct?
A misinterpretation in layperson's terms. You got that wrong also.
It was an error, yes.
Did you have that protocol peer reviewed, sir?
No, I did not.
Was it peer reviewed by anybody at Aperture?
No, it was not.
Did you have a supervisor review that protocol before you filed it with the court?
No, sir.
You submitted your proposal based on your education, background, and experience, correct?
Correct.
Turns out that the entire foundation of your proposal was based on a fundamental misinterpretation of the difference between a computer bit and a computer byte, correct?
No, not the entire thing, no.
Well, certainly a part of it was, correct, sir?
Correct, partial.
You got conversions wrong with respect to analyzing 3 different chips, correct?
Correct.
And since you wrote that, have you learned the difference between a bit and a byte?
I've always known the difference between a bit and a byte, yes.
You learned that, in this case, from reading the affidavit of an expert for the defense who pointed out those errors before you submitted your supplemental report. Isn't that correct?
I would have to go back and look at the timing on that. I believe I submitted the supplemental before the protocol from the other expert.
Are you certain of that?
I'm not certain of that.
Isn't it the case that the expert for the defense submitted his affidavit before you submitted your supplemental report?
Objection.
Do you know that?
I do not know that.
You don't know one way or another.
Correct.
And that person that I've referred to for the defense is Matthew DeSogra. You know that name?
I do.
And you have read Mr. DeSogra's affidavit in this case, have you not, sir?
I have, yes.
And you would agree that he pointed out these misinterpretations of yours in his affidavit, correct?
Correct.
I would like to go back to your January 30th, 2025 report. May I have a moment, Your Honor, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Like, when is this going to be over? Oh my gosh. Can you imagine the women on his Tinder already, not killing it? I'm going to just assume. And now like, oh, are you that guy with the hair island full of lies from the Karen Read trial? Yeah, no, thank you. This is the new who did you vote for is how the women are going to be sussing out him.
In telemet.
Were you in the Karen Read trial lying? Were you on the prosecution side? Okay, yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Modules removed from the Lexus, but have since released updated software according to similar modules that are supported by in-vehicle acquisition.
That is correct.
And the infotainment module that was removed from Ms. Read's Lexus is consistent with the MMU. You know what I'm referring to in the MMU?
Right.
It's consistent with the MMU documented by Burla and has been identified as containing an internal micro SD card not acquired during the initial chip-off acquisition by Mrs. Gaffney. You remember that statement in the report, sir?
He's like, I do know what a micro, you said micro peen? Oh, no, you said micro SD. Micro small dick? No, that's not what that stands for. Bits and bytes and small dicks and peens. I know about the micro.
Yes.
You obtained no additional information from the chips that were already analyzed by Ms. Gaffney, did you?
Correct.
Correct that you obtained no additional information, right?
No data of value from those chips, yes.
No data of value. So all the data of value Miss Gaffney had already obtained from those chips, correct?
That's kind of a confusing question. So there was no data of value from those chips to begin with.
Fair enough.
Right.
So Miss Gaffney didn't miss anything of value.
Correct.
Fair?
Correct.
Do you know how much the Commonwealth has paid Aperture to date for doing the work in this case?
I do not.
Too much.
Do you have any involvement at all in knowing what the contract is between Aperture and the Commonwealth?
I do not.
Have you ever had any discussions with any colleagues from Aperture with regard to how much Aperture has been paid in this case?
No, I have not.
Do you have an estimation as to how much Aperture has been paid in this case?
Not off the top of my head, I do not.
You've never had any discussion with anybody at Aperture about the fees Aperture has charged the Commonwealth in this case?
No, I have not.
Who in Aperture is in charge of knowing how much fees Aperture has charged the Commonwealth?
That would be the accounting department.
Would Dr. Judson Welcher know?
Who?
Potentially.
Now we're bringing in Dr. Judson Walter, which is really, sir, just an alter ego of yours that you put on your LinkedIn. Okay. We found Judson Walter on your Grindr. Is that you on Grindr as Dr. Judson Walter, saying you got your degree at Penisford University? Is that you, sir? Okay. That was a trick question. He doesn't exist, only on your dating profile, sir. Your hookup, your plenty of fish. This guy is
Your analysis, I want to move on to another category, sir. Your analysis in this case was not strictly limited to data in science, was it?
No, it was strictly limited to data and science.
The Commonwealth requested that you review numerous materials in connection with your analysis in this case, correct?
I did review materials, yes.
You did not review the January 29, 2022 CARS report by, well, let me put it this way. Did you review the January 29, 2022 CARS report prepared by Trooper Paul?
I did not. I actually, well, I did, but I watched the movie Cars because it was about vehicles, and this is about a vehicle. So I thought that would be conducive. No, okay.
No, I did not.
You know
No,
what
he watched the movie Cars.
the CARS report is?
I do not.
Do you know that a CARS report was prepared by Trooper Paul for this case?
No, I do not.
If there was a collision analysis and reconstruction report prepared by a trooper in that case, would you want to see a document such as that?
No, not for my analysis.
Would somebody at Aperture want to see that document?
Objection.
I'll reword. Are you familiar with collision analysis and reconstruction reports prepared by law enforcement agencies?
I am vaguely familiar, yes.
Vaguely familiar? Have you ever used one in your analysis at all?
I have seen them, yes.
You've seen them. And my question is, seeing them, have you ever read any of them?
Yes, I have read them.
Have you ever considered a collision analysis and reconstruction report as part of the work that you do at Aperture?
Not specifically a collision analysis report from law enforcement. We do routinely see crash reports, but I think what you're referring to is
I
something.
cannot take nothing this man says serious anymore. It is you are sleeping in a bed of lies, sir. Casey says 877 cars for kids. Oh my God, you guys. This is so ridiculous. But it's so on brand for this trial. He's like, I've never heard of that. I don't know what they're talking about there. Yeah, like Grateful Little Farm says, it's just it was a misinterpretation. Yeah. Oh God.
Something else.
Are you aware of a supplemental collision analysis and reconstruction report of Trooper Paul of the Massachusetts State Police dated July 24, 2024?
No, I'm not.
Do you know whether Trooper Paul is part of the Massachusetts State Police reconstruction team?
I do not.
And lastly, do you know whether he's part of the reconstruction team in this case?
I do not.
Who would have thought Trooper Paul was going to come out like everything's coming up Millhouse for Trooper Paul? Who would have thought people would be like, he wasn't that bad. The guy who was like, I can't feel my legs. I don't know. Where am I? Who would have thought that that would look a million times better than whatever this is? Trooper Paul's at home like, yes, right? He's like, vindication. Sonny says, Trooper Paul must be so happy. There's finally someone worse than him in this case. You think, like, it's not going to get worse. There's no way. It can't get worse. And then it does. And we haven't even gotten to the defense's case yet. This is still the Commonwealth presenting their witnesses in case. This is crazy. The amount of money the taxpayers are wasting on this bullshit, I'd be pissed.
Did anybody tell you to avoid reviewing a collision analysis and reconstruction report in this case?
No, they did not.
You did, however, review the 2024 testimony of Trooper Nicholas Garino in the proceeding of last year, didn't you?
I did for specific data, yes.
So that's not really science and data, is it? It's testimony.
Yes, it is testimony.
So you did review materials in this case beyond science and data, correct? You reviewed testimony.
Sure, that is common, yes.
Having reviewed Trooper Garino's testimony, you therefore are aware of the theory that he proposed in the first proceeding, correct? It was in his testimony?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
I'm not. So specifically, I reviewed Trooper Garino's testimony for information related to the infotainment and telematics modules.
So did you read all of the testimony?
No, I would have skimmed it.
You would have skimmed the testimony?
Correct.
And how would you, and what would be the purpose to just skim it?
Sure. So I'm only interested in the information related to the infotainment and telematics modules.
Sure. So you just, I want to make sure I have this right. So you would skim it. You would look for what you want to focus on. And you, as you sit here today, you don't have any recollection of what the theory of the Commonwealth was in the first proceeding?
Not from that testimony, no.
Do you recall Trooper Garino as part of what you reviewed? So you reviewed certain things of Trooper Garino in his testimony, correct?
Correct.
And in your direct testimony, you testified extensively about the iPhone of John O'Keefe, correct?
Correct.
And you looked at and testified about a lot of information from the phone of John O'Keefe. Is that a fair statement?
Location data.
Location data. Did you read, therefore, Trooper Garino's claim that the last...
Objection.
Oh,
So why don't I see it side by? I find out what's going on.
Sure.
Hanky Panky's awake. Hanky Panky's like, sorry, I was in a K-hole. You still talking to this guy? Oh, so they got a sidebar. Look at this man. This man is just the most defeated man in America, but also kind of still feeling himself, I feel like. He hasn't been embarrassed enough yet. Oh, Bev's happy. She's like, feel free to stand up and stretch. I got margaritas after this. For lunch. Feel free, Jerry.
Jurors, we're just waiting a minute for something.
I heard some of you don't like me. You might be reporting me or something. Jurors, feel free to stretch, okay? Feel free. I sprayed a little bit of Glade. I did a Glade plug-in for you over there. So if you guys could stop complaining allegedly about the amount of times that I sustain Hanky Panky, and I'll give you a half day. Thanks.
Something before we can proceed. Feel free to stand up and stretch if you'd like.
You could dance too if you want.
Trying to do this without having to step out of the courtroom.
Try to do this without stepping out of the courtroom, okay? You can come over by me. Does someone want a sip from my cup? What are those called again? What are these called? I forgot. Because Joleen doesn't have the fancy expensive one. This one I got real cheap from TJ Maxx. But you know what I'm talking about? The one the kids carry? Could someone remind me? I'm in a perimenopause fog on this one. You can have a sip. I want to say from my Shopee, but I know it's not a Shopee. Stanley, thank you so much, Sunny Drop. You guys can take a sip of my Stanley, but don't tell. Okay, don't tell. I had it filled at the waterfall. Ah, what? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Janetti's playing solitaire on his phone.
Not, there's not.
Not.
Mr. Alessi, is there anything we can go to and come back? If there's not, there's not.
I got a family.
It would be a bit incongruous, Your Honor, but I
Okay.
can do it if Your Honor would like.
Do you have any idea how much longer it's going to be?
I will go check.
Bev's like, do we have any idea how much long? Objection. I got to get a bang trim. It's Monday. I wasn't able to get it this weekend. I had a very busy weekend. Okay. I was on Reddit reporting negative comments about myself for half the day. I was mocking them. I was saying, oh, not good. That's not true. So I didn't get to get my bang trim in from my girl at Great Clips. How much longer? Now, how much longer? How about now? Now? I need it to be done right meow. Okay. I got 7 cats at home. I got to change their litter. I try to do it once a week. Sometimes it's once a month. It's real stinky in there. But I just stay buzzed up. I don't even recognize it. I don't even notice.
Thank you very much. Pardon me?
Are you ready? Are you done, Mr. Alessi?
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Yes. Hurry
I
up.
will show this to Mr. Brennan first, and then if the court would
Hurry
like
up. They got 2-for-1 margaritas down at the waterfall.
to see it, we've got another.
Thank you.
Brennan?
AJ McCarthy's. What's that guy's name? What's a TD McCarthy's? We got it at McCarthy's. You know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm going to go down to D&E. I got to meet up with Chris Albert and Colin. We're going to have some sandwiches. How much longer now? Stanley.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
May I have
hurry up.
this marked as the next exhibit for
My
identification,
bangs are
please,
growing
Your
by
Honor?
the second. The touch of my glasses.
No worries.
I love it. This guy's like, no worries. Like he is now, Alessi's the dom. Okay. And he's the, what do you call it? Like a simp? What is the guy that, whatever the term is. Okay. He's like, no. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. No, you can take advantage of me. Look at how
The next exhibit
he's so just like,
for identification, please, Your Honor.
Alessi now owns him.
Yes.
No worries.
No worries. Please don't bring out any more facts about my fake education. Please. My mom's watching. She can only delete so much of my profiles. Please, sir. Please. He won't even look. He's like, big bad Alessi. He's all of 5'6". 5'6" Anna. Sub. Thank you, Susan.
Yep.
How do you know that, Susan? How do you know that?
May I
How do you
interrupt?
guys know sub?
Sir, I'm handing you what has been marked as Exhibit ZZ for identification. Ask you to take a moment to look at it, please. When you've had a fair opportunity to look at it, if you could pick your head up, sir, and I'll proceed that time.
If you could pick up your head, pick up your integrity, pick up what's left of your dignity off the floor, and then we'll talk about it. Hurry up. Oh, God. No more LinkedIn, please. Dear God, make me a bird so I can fly far, far, far away from here. That's what he's saying in his head. Dear God, make me a bird so I can fly far, far, far away from here to a place where they don't check your LinkedIn. 2-for-1 on the bar. Bangs cut. Brian, they got 2-for-1. Margaritas, and they'd give you a bang trim at the Great Clips over there.
Okay.
So I'm going to just ask one predicate question and then ask you another question.
He's like, I don't know the definition of predicate. They didn't teach me that in my fake bachelor's degree school.
Does Exhibit ZZ contain, and if you just answer this yes or no, that would be great. Does it contain location, data, information? Objection.
Hanky, why are you objecting now? You have been missing in action for like 2 days over here. This guy has been burning up. It's raining tomatoes in his face. And now you're showing up going, objection. He just wants Bev's attention.
I'll allow that without pursuing it.
That's the only one I have for.
Oh, Bev. I'll allow that. I'll allow that. That's what you get, Hank, for not standing up and saying hi to me for this. It's been half an hour since you've spoken.
That purpose.
Okay.
Does it, sir?
Yes, it does.
Did you consider this part of Trooper Garino's testimony in any review that you've done in this case?
No, I did not.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
He is what? Under the pits. This dude's
On
got a
December,
shame
we're going to move
boner.
on now to another topic, sir.
We're going to move on to Christmas. We're going to ruin Christmas for you. December. You ready? You ready? Grab your shame boner. Here we go.
On December 5th, 2024, Detective Lieutenant Brian Tully, you know that name, sir?
Yes, I do.
That's his best friend.
How do you know that name?
So he is the one who hand delivered the infotainment and telematics module to our office in South Lake.
I bet he did.
Exactly. So he delivered the infotainment module containing the SD card that you talked about on direct examination so that you could attempt to reinstall it in Miss Read's vehicle for an in-vehicle acquisition attempt, correct?
That was part of it, yes.
That was part of it.
Correct.
That day, you initially attempted an in-vehicle acquisition, meaning you reconnected the infotainment module to the faceplate in Miss Read's vehicle and reinstalled both the infotainment and the telematics module for an in-vehicle unlock and acquisition, correct?
That was an attempt, yes, on December 7th, for clarification.
And that was on December 7th?
Correct.
And
that was on Britney Spears' birthday. I remember, sir. I remember because I follow her on Instagram. She does these very sexy dances. I like them.
December 7th of 2024.
Correct.
Correct. Britney's
You
birthday.
conducted the same testing on an exemplar vehicle. And to be clear, exemplar was a vehicle that Aperture had purchased?
Yes, that is a vehicle that Aperture has purchased.
So Aperture purchased it. And it's a vehicle, as I understand, you testified that's similar to the vehicle of Miss Read, correct?
Correct.
And so you call it an exemplar because it's similar to the vehicle in question, correct?
Correct. Correct.
So I'm going to continue using your parlance of exemplar vehicle. And so you conducted this same testing on the exemplar vehicle and successfully reinstalled and tested the infotainment and telematics systems for an in-vehicle unlock and acquisition, correct?
For an in-vehicle acquisition, not for an unlock.
Okay, so for just an in-vehicle acquisition.
Correct.
I appreciate the correction, sir. But in this case, with Miss Read's actual Lexus, you were unable to successfully reinstall and test the infotainment and telematics systems, correct?
Correct.
Of course.
On Miss Read's Lexus, you were able to get the infotainment backlight and faceplate to illuminate, but in your own words, the infotainment system did not respond as expected, correct?
Correct.
So instead, you took the micro SD card itself and attempted to retrieve data from that card directly, correct?
Correct.
Lexus locks cards in its system, correct?
It does, yes.
If Lexus thought it was appropriate to access those cards, do you know whether or not they would have them unlocked? You know.
I do not know.
Now,
I'm going to let the answers.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He doesn't know. He doesn't have a Lexus. We've established that he has a Dodge Stratus. It has status.
I want to cover a basic question.
Better make it super basic.
Do you have any citation to any scientific literature where specifically what you did on this Lexus model has ever done before? Has it ever been done before?
No, not on this specific model, which is why we did the exemplar testing.
Right. So there's no.
This man just said not on this specific model. Not on this specific model. It was more of a Eastern model. That not. It wasn't the Pacific. It was the East Coast, Central, Mountain Time. Not the Pacific Ocean. It was more the Atlantic. Oh my God.
Do you have any citation to any scientific literature
Pacific
where specifically what you did on this Lexus model has ever done before? Has it ever been done before? Do you know?
No, not on this specific model, which is why we did the exemplar
It
testing.
might have been specific, but it sounded like he said Pacific.
Right. So there's no scientific literature that states that the methodology that you used with this Lexus model is an appropriate methodology at all, correct?
There's literature that addresses the methodology in other
True, Mallory.
other ways, but not specific to this Lexus. Correct.
There's no literature
Damn sounds like he's saying not specific to this model.
Other ways, but not specific to this.
Okay, it is specific, but when I slow it down, I can understand it. Okay, just got to slow him down a little bit.
This Lexus, correct?
There's no literature at all stating that the methodology that you used for this Lexus is the appropriate methodology to use for this Lexus model, correct?
There's no literature about this appropriate Lexus model, correct?
Let's talk about your
Dating
initial
life.
report
No.
of January 30th of 2025.
Look at.
Oh, kitty.
So when
Oh.
you say very strong support for
Producer
exclusion, what is that?
Cornelia. She's like, I'm done with this man. I have had it.
Sure,
He
Dr.
came
Judson
in.
Welcher has also been retained by the Commonwealth through Aperture, correct?
That is correct.
Justin Welcher, Dr. Welcher is a bio.
Now I don't know where we were. Does it
You're
matter?
aware that Dr. Welcher created a PowerPoint
Did we already hear about this?
presentation with regard
Oh,
to
no.
his report contains statements about movement and other activity of Mr. O'Keefe's phone after your time period in your original report of January 30th, 2025, correct?
No, not after the time period. No.
Let's take a look at that.
Sure.
Were we here already, or did I? It don't matter.
Let's take a look at your
Cornelia
January
said whatever.
30th, 2025 report.
Hi, Cordy. Yeah, the cat butthole Robin. She does not like this man.
We'll come back to that. I'll do that in an order that makes a little bit more logical sense. You've mentioned, and just to cover the foundational parts, that you're not the only employee of Aperture that's been hired to testify as a witness on behalf of the Commonwealth in this trial, correct?
Correct.
Your colleague, Judson Welcher, Dr. Judson Welcher, has also been retained by the Commonwealth through Aperture, correct?
That is correct.
Justin Welcher.
Then, like Brian said, he's going to come back and be like, "Hello, I am Judson Welcher. You look strangely like that man who lied about his bachelor's degree. Are you sure you're not him?" "I am not him. I get way more ladies. I got a Mercedes for all the ladies." Okay, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. Ay.
Welcher, Dr. Welcher is a biomechanical engineer, correct?
Correct.
But is he? You're gonna have to check that. Check his LinkedIn. Make sure it's legit.
Do you know whether Dr. Welcher holds any professional certifications?
Oh, here we go. They're gonna find out Welcher's a fake too.
I do not know.
I do not know. I do not want y'all that.
Does Dr. Welcher's expertise extend beyond your own?
It is a different discipline than my own, yes.
So it's a different discipline. So it could be horizontally extended and it also can be vertically extended depending upon the subject matter?
Sure.
That's a fair statement.
Sure.
Somebody is coughing a lot lately. We got to get you some Ricola.
Your colleague, Dr. Welcher, who is an engineer, did opine on the timing of the tech stream event 1162-2 in his report of January 30th, 2025, correct?
Objection. Is this the objections?
Hanky Panky, why are we objecting now again?
Sustained.
I'll reword it, Your Honor. Do you know whether Dr. Welcher opined on the timing of tech stream event 1162-2 in his January 30th, 2025 report?
Yes.
So you do know.
Yes.
What is the timing of the tech stream event
Dr. Welcher's
1162-2 in the January 30th report of Dr. Welcher, your colleague?
Objection. So why don't I see you at sidebar on this?
Oh, God. He's like, Dr. Welcher is a very good man. I'm sorry. We still see you, sir. Oh, the mendacity of it all. I have a real degree. Oh my gosh. Now we got a sidebar. This guy stood up. One of the troopers. I don't even know who that guy is. I forget. I'm your biggest fan. I follow you until you love. Oh, that I know that lady back there. That reporter. That's like the Boston Globe lady, right? That lady. I've seen her in interview on something. Little short-haired lady. She looks like what's her name from MSNBC. You guys, again, perimenopause brain. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking. Rachel. No, what's her name? Put it in the chat. You guys know what I'm talking about. Karen's like, this is ridiculous. Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddie or Rachel Maddie or Rachel Maddow.
Can I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience, Mr. Burgess.
Thank you for your patience, Shannon, while we continue to embarrass you.
You're aware that Dr. Welcher created a PowerPoint presentation with regard to his work in January of 2025, correct?
Correct.
Did you ever discuss that work with Dr. Welcher that he was doing?
No, I did not.
Did you ever review any of his work at any point, including up to the point where you're sitting on the stand today?
I have reviewed the slides that are included in Mr. DeSogra's presentation.
Slides.
In the slides that are included in Mr. DeSogra's,
It's like I have included the slippity slide. It's bitches on the block in a 65. That's what I reviewed that part of the slides.
report include, those slides you're referring to are the slides of Dr. Welcher, your colleague, correct?
Correct.
And the slides that are in Mr. DeSogra's report about Dr. Welcher that slide discusses the 1162.2 text stream event, correct?
Correct.
So you have looked at, albeit through Mr. DeSogra, you have looked at the slide that Dr. Welcher had in his report regarding the text stream event 1162.2, correct?
Correct.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Yes, but hurry up. I got to get these bangs trimmed. They're growing.
Welcome.
Mark it. Make sure you mark it.
May I have this marked as the next exhibit for identification,
Yep.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you.
he marked it. Mark it. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. We missed you.
Thank
Move
you. May I
back.
present it to the witness?
Gillespie.
Thank you. May I remain here for a few questions?
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Burgess, if
Yes.
you could take a look
He
at
is in her dumb face. Sure. May I move forward? Sure. 2 steps, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. We come together because opposites attract. Okay, go ahead,
what
Alyssa.
has been marked for identification is AAA, and tell me, once you've had a fair opportunity to look at it,
Put
whether
your
you
head up.
recognize that slide.
Yes, I do recognize that slide.
Pull your head out of your
And
ass.
sir, what do you recognize that slide as?
So it is a slide that states a number of times associated with text stream event 1162.2, which would be the second event.
And did you consider this exhibit AAA in your preparation of a response to Mr. DeSogra's March 5th, 2025 presentation?
Yes, I did.
I offer this into evidence, Your Honor, AAA for identification.
AAA, bitch.
I'd like to put the whole report in.
Oh, damn, Hanky Panky. I like to put the whole report in. Hank, not a good turnout today. Brian J., thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Now he's thirsty. Shannon with one N is thirsty. He's like, I hope I suck up some of this water on my flavor saver.
Your Honor, I have no need to put the report's 143 pages.
So I'm going to let this in, and I haven't decided yet about the whole 143 pages. Okay.
I'm going to see how Hanky treats me later. I haven't decided yet because I'm going to mock it, but I don't know if we need 143 pages.
Your Honor, and I
I'm so annoyed. Look at her look at Alessi. She hates this man. She hates this. I don't see how you could hate Alessi. Well, I mean, I don't. Look at her look at him. She's like, me no yike.
reoffer it.
He is holding me back from a bang trim.
into
Margaritas.
evidence, Your Honor.
Yes.
Hurry up. You said this wouldn't take long.
188. Could someone provide me with that 143 page today, please?
Provide it today. That means you, Hanky Panky, see me in chambers. Mock it. Mock my words.
Sorry, what you asking for?
For a copy for me of that 143 pages.
Hank goes, I'm sorry, what do you ask? You just said, Hanky, you want the full report. Did you forget?
Before we leave today.
Before we leave, we'll get it, Your Honor.
Thank you.
One way or
Oh
another.
my gosh. You're wasting paper.
You can, please.
Hold on, was it marked?
It was.
It's got to be mocked. He didn't mock it. You got to mock it. If you don't mock it, this trial is a joke. But if you mock it, the trial's not a joke. Objection. The trial is a joke whether you mock it or not. Sustained. That's a good point. Sustained.
It's 188.
What number?
188.
Thank you.
Ooh, look at those hoops again. Love it, court reporter.
May I present it back to the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
I think at this point, the court reporter's just huffing. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be like, hand me some dust off. I am not going to say these words. They don't matter. Everybody's lying. And everyone's an idiot. I need a nap. He's got to read again. Oh, God. Oh, God. And she would hate me. Sunny drop. Oh, yeah, I know she hates Jackson, Susan.
So you now
Is
have
evident.
what is in evidence as Exhibit 188 for identification. I draw your attention, and this is the slide that you considered in responding to Mr. DeSogra, correct?
In response to Mr. DeSogra's analysis of this slide, yes, correct.
And this slide, to be clear, is a slide prepared by your colleague at Aperture, Dr. Judson Welcher, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Sir, could you please...
I want to meet Judson Welcher. Welch's grape juice. I want to meet him because just like Brian said, it's going to be him. It's going to be Shannon Beck. Hello, I am Judson Welcher. I like grape juice. Do you? I have my PhD in squeezing grapes with my toes for juices.
Please read
He can't read.
the time that Dr. Welcher states for when infotainment trigger 1162.2 occurred.
So that would be text stream trigger, just for clarification, but yes, I can.
Well, let's go to that. You use the parlance text stream trigger. Dr. Welcher uses infotainment trigger, but it's 1162.2. You both use 1162.2, correct?
Correct. And I think that may be a misunderstanding of how he's worded it.
Well, Your Honor, I'd actually...
Oh, all these misunderstandings, misinterpretations, lies.
move to strike that about what Dr. Welcher... I'm just going to what the document says.
I'm just going to leave it, but go on.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the document says that the infotainment trigger 1162.2 occurred at approximately 12:31:38, correct?
Correct.
And that it ended at 12:31:43, correct?
Correct.
So we've got the trigger, according to Dr. Welcher, as of recently as January 30th, 2025, starting at 12:31:38 and ending at 12:31:43, correct?
Correct. According to the Lexus clock.
Right.
Yes.
So now let's go down to what says below. Per report from Ian Whiffen, O'Keefe's cell phone data showed, quote, most notably, all device lock events, including the final lock event at 12:32:09, were user initiated by the user pressing the side button briefly. You see that, sir?
I do.
And did I read that correctly?
You did, with the caveat, that's according to the iPhone clock.
Right. But in any event, that's what Dr. Welcher states on his slide, correct?
Correct.
Do you know, sir, that the iPhone data reported by Mr. Whiffen that you read, that Dr. Welcher references, do you know that report of Ian Whiffen says there was an end of a health event of 36 steps covering a distance of 84 feet that ended at 12:32:16, which is after 12:31:43?
Yes.
And you know that?
Yes, with the caveat, those clocks have not been adjusted.
But you know,
with the caveat that we went in and we adjusted it. Okay. Oh my God. Clown University, DeVry, Clown. They're all calling.
That there was a end of health event of 36 steps covering a distance of 84 feet that ended at 12:32:16, which is after 12:31:43. Correct?
Correct.
Just stating the comparison. So now what I'd like to do is to move on with regard to the analysis. So, in Dr. Welcher wrote this The slide he presented is dated January 30th of 2025, correct?
It's not dated here.
It's not dated.
Yes.
Do you know that Dr. Welcher created a report of January 30th, 2025?
I do know he created a report.
Right, and that's the same date as your report, correct? Your first report.
Correct.
So you both submitted your reports on the same date. They're both dated the same, at least, correct?
Yes, if they're both dated the same. Yes.
Allegedly, Kristen. Allegedly.
Are you familiar with the concept of pocket state in iPhones?
I am familiar through Mr. Whiffen's report.
Okay.
Oh shit! Is he going to talk about? Are we going into butt dials? Are you familiar with this man? Knows a butt dial. I guarantee it. If he might not know much, but he knows a butt dial. This man looks like the personification of a butt dial.
You said you've read Mr. Whiffen's report, correct?
Correct.
So you know that Mr. Whiffen states that there was a pocket state detected on the iPhone of Mr. O'Keefe at 12:33:14, correct?
Objection.
So the same, I'm going to strike it, do it the same way, Mr. Lassie, okay?
I will, Your Honor. Thank you. Are you aware of whether Mr. Whiffen has put in the report you read a timestamp for detecting pocket states of Mr. O'Keefe? Are you aware of that in the report at all?
I am aware of that in the report, yes.
Do you know when Mr. Whiffen has noted a pocket state detected of Mr. O'Keefe's phone? Do you know?
So, Mr. Lassie, why don't you show it to me?
That's what I was going to do. I will, Your Honor. And if
Sorry,
we could put it,
I
we've
don't
got
know
it.
what
That's already in evidence on the screen.
Thank you for trying.
It's already in evidence in screen.
So are you talking about Mr. Whiffen's report? Or
Correct. Well, you know what? I'm going to show him the report, Your Honor. I'll do it the way you suggest.
Yeah, you do it the way I suggest. Mock it. Make sure you mock it, bitch.
Do you recall the specific time that Mr. Whiffen has stated pocket states detected for the phone of Mr. O'Keefe?
No, I have not.
If I showed you a report of Mr. Whiffen, might that refresh your recollection as to when Mr. Whiffen has stated pocket state detected? Would that help?
Yes.
Okay, sir, I'm going to endeavor to do that. If I can have a moment, Your Honor, I have it. Thank you.
Always drinking. Was he coming back tomorrow too? Because this is almost up.
I have it, Your Honor, if I could have a moment.
Oh no. Did you guys see Bev checking out Shannon with one N? She's like, oh God, even I can't stand him. Mock him as wrong. Watch Bev. She's like, oh God, if my daughter brings home a guy like that, that's it. I'm gonna run him over with my car. Ah, garbage human. You better come correct tomorrow. Better update his LinkedIn, sir. Bev's like, I got a bang appointment. Got a trim. Come on, guys. You don't understand. They're getting mocked down my face. What is Alessi doing? Yoga? I keep forgetting it's a holiday week. Amberlina says every time Bev interjects, an angel loses its wings. That's true. Allegedly, that's true, Amberlina. Good point. Bev's wig is slipping. Her hair grows really fast. That's a sign of a demon I learned on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Your fingernails, your hair grow fast. Not saying she's a demon. I'm just saying that is a sign of possible demonage. Demonic behavior. What is going on over there? They're like, wait a minute. Did you find that Dr. Grape Welch's grape juice guy isn't real? Shut up. No way. It's just Shannon with a mustache? That's what we were thinking. Thank you, Katie K, for the super sticker. That's so sweet of you. He's like, Hank, take a look at this. I'm going to show this to the court and to your witness and embarrass him again, which is what I've been doing this whole time on the cross-examination, okay? Thank you so much for providing him to us with no voyeur. No. See, I'm showing you here more places where I'm going to embarrass him. Keep reading, Hanky. Look at Lolly's like, they would have just kept me on the case as the big guy. None of this would have happened, or maybe it would have, but who cares? It's not fair. Not fair. Just because Hank comes in with more hair, and just because he represented Whitey Ford Sings the Blues, he gets to take over with the prosecution and make the big money. It's not fair. Way more boring. I think Bev's going to step in and be like, it's got to be over, guys. You done, son. You done. Secrets don't make friends, guys. Come on. Share with the class. Shout out to the court reporter. Poor babe. She works so hard. Voidor. Voldemort. If they would have let us do a Voldemort, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Okay, you get a room. Oh my God.
Got an agreement of sorts with Mr. Brennan. Could I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Burgess.
Yes.
I'm going to show you what are 2 pages out of the report of Mr. Whiffen.
Is he speak? I don't have. Okay. Oh, I have this. Oh my God. I was like, is he speaking that slow to him? I have this selected at 1.9 or 0.9, I should say. Not 1.9, 0.9. Because I was like, it sounded like he was like, Mr. Burgess, I'm going to show this to you right now. You're going to read it. And when you're ready, you will pick your head up from the floor. It sounded like he was going really slow, but I had it at 0.9.
And did you?
So let's see in real time if it's slow.
Mr. Burgess.
Yes.
I'm going to show you what are 2 pages out of the report of Mr.
No, that's at one. That's still slow. I'm going to show you, okay? YOU, okay? What I have on paper from trees. You read, READ, read you, not me read, you read on paper. Okay. Then you tell me what you read. I'm losing my mind. But seriously, he's talking so slow to him.
Whiffen that you referenced, and we've been discussing about
how I've talked to you and proven you liar, not me, Alessi good, you bad, Hare Island, lies, separation of lies and truth. Okay, this man is never going to recover from this.
Mr. Burgess.
Yes.
I'm going to show you what are 2 pages out of the report of Mr. Whiffen that you referenced, and we've been discussing about pocket state.
Sure.
And this one here, if you just read this line because it's the heading, and then the next page, and tell me, sir, with reference to this entry right here, if that refreshes your recollection with regard to a column of...
He is speaking so slow. Is it just me? He's like, if this refreshes your recollection of what you lied about. Lied, L-I-E-D, lied. You lied, not me, Alessi. Me, truth. You lie. And he's like, okay.
Pocket state with regard to the phone of Mr. and whether it refreshes your recollection on any comments Mr. Whiffen made about pocket state.
Objection. I just want Bev's attention. Look at Bev's like, Hanky, look at it. Look, Bev's so happy at that objection. She's like, oh, Hanky, are you trying to get my attention, baby? She perked up. And this guy is so sad. So sad. My name is Shannon, 1N. The N stands for not nice, Alessi. Watch Bev's face perk up.
With regard to the phone of Mr. and whether it refreshes your recollection on any comments Mr. Whiffen made about Pakistan.
Objection.
What the fuck? Bev, why did she do that? Did you guys see that? She's like, got him. Hank does love me. Oh my gosh, one more time. One more time with feeling, and then I'll knock it off, you guys. I can't help it. It's so interesting.
With regard to the phone of Mr. and whether it refreshes your recollection on any comments Mr. Whiffen made about Pakistan.
Objection.
I'm going to see it side by for 2 minutes.
Okay.
She texts him. She was like, Hanky, if you've ever loved me and you've ever wanted to be with me, Cecily, sexually, I need you to do an objection so that I can call this a day. Hank, you said you love me. You'll do this. You're my biche. Okay. That was sus. That guy is tired. Oh, Karen's poor dad. He's like, Jesus, these idiots.
Good place to wait for meeting. Jurors, this seems like a good place to wait for meeting.
They set that shit up.
So, for the same cautions, please do not discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into this case. If you happen to see, hear, or read anything about this case, please disregard it and let us know. And please be careful with your social media use. We will see you tomorrow morning. Thank you very much.
All rise.
All rise.
So you know what to follow me.
I feel like Bev sent him a text message on her iPad and was like, Hank, object so I can end this. She's like, he did it. He loves me.
Jury's left the room.
All right. So are we all set, Mr. Alessi, on this issue and for each time that might occur?
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay.
What is she talking about for each time that might occur?
So are we all set, Mr. Alessi, on this issue and for each time that might occur?
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow.
What might occur? The prosecution calling experts who are lying liars who lie? Bev, what are you talking about? She scratched her face. Watch it again. Refreshing memory with the Whiffen reports. Allegedly, signals are being sent between Bev and Brent. Well, that looked like it could be one. Oh my gosh. Kurt says she's trying to make it practically impossible for him to discuss his reports. This is crazy. Girl Loves Hemp says she likes to make it look like the defense has done something wrong. Ugh. It's a shot show. It definitely is. Ugh. That's what she was talking about. Questions and answers. Does anyone have any questions, concerns? Anyone want to meet me and Hanky Panky afterwards for a bang trim and margaritas, 2 for 1? Huh? She thinks she's, Cammy says she thinks she's putting Alessi in his place. No, she's not. You just got to get to Red Sox training camp, maybe. That could be. All right, you guys. Well, we're almost at 3 hours. You guys are amazing pumpkin spice babies. I appreciate each and every one of you. You cracked me up in the live chat. Thank you for making me laugh because this is so ridiculous. Hopefully I was able to make you laugh. Thank you to my super chatters today. Silly Goose. Thank you, Elizabeth, for being a member for 10 months. Thank you for thanking me, by the way, and saying thank you so much for going live twice today, Jolene. You're a queen. We love and appreciate you. I'm going to try to go live twice tomorrow. However, Timberwolves game, 5:30. So I'll have to go a little earlier. We'll have to call it a day. I like to watch a little bit behind so I can skip through the commercials. But you know what I mean. Thank you, David, for the super chat. Thank you, Holly Anna, Pamela B, Brian J, and Katie K. I appreciate everybody who joined. Smash that like on your way out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. Share me with your friends if you don't mind. We're growing. We got like 300 plus subscribers. So in the past, I think, week, 2 weeks, something like that. So thank you guys so much. Welcome new subscribers. Thank you to those of you who have stuck with me with all the craziness I talk about. If you're not already, follow me on social media and please comment after the video posts. I appreciate you guys. Okay.
John's boyfriend, Karen Read, killed him.
Thank you, Vinny.
Jen! Jen!
Jen! Jen!
Thank you, Jen McCabe. Obviously, the reason for the season. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Always remember to enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Bye.